All right, what'd you say, Polo?
I said, is systemic racism really our biggest problem?
Nope. What everybody else feel?
All
Hmm.
I
right, let
don't.
me ask y'all this. Yeah,
No,
hey, then when we were screaming Black Lives Matter, everybody was screaming All Lives Matter, right? All right. Now everybody's screaming Asian hate matter. How come we ain't screaming all hate matter? But
Right,
I ain't
but
say nothing about that.
let's get your answer first, though.
but does that have anything to do with systemic racism?
Hold on, let's
Exactly.
It
There
go
you
it
go.
go
hold
hand
on,
in
hold on, hold
hand.
on,
It go
Polo,
hand
hold
in
on, Polo,
hand.
rewind. Let's
It
get the
goes
right
hand in
answer. Do
hand, bro.
y'all think that? Ask the question again, Polo.
Is systemic racism our biggest problem?
Yes or no? Let me hear it from Elias and
And I would love a
LeGrand.
response. I would
I
love a
say yes.
response.
That
You
big
say
DB
yes.
say yes.
I'm gonna
Yes.
say no.
Why?
Why is that not our biggest problem?
No, I want to, from the yes answer, I want to know why.
Oh.
Why? Because it's so embedded into the American philosophy
Hold on,
that
before you
white
finish
is
answering,
right.
before you finish answering, I want you to answer this question from the heart and the soul, not out of a
Oh,
textbook or from TV.
I don't have a book or textbook in front of me. Got you.
He said, "I don't have
Okay.
book brother in front of
No,
me."
I'm not. I'm not. Like I said, I'm not
Right,
being
right. No, no, no. Right,
condescending.
right, right,
But I
right. No,
know.
no, I feel
But I
you.
know a
No, I
lot
feel
of
you. I
people
feel
like to
you.
give talking points,
Yeah,
and
no,
I don't
I'm
want
not one of
talking
them people.
points.
I'm not one of them people, man. I got you. Let me get. You know what I'm saying? We all in this together. Let's go.
All right. Finish your retort.
No, I'm saying is that on a is America is it the systematic racism that affects everyday liveliness of an African American? Yes, and the reason why I say that is because there is so much history that has happened and that has occurred that the
Okay.
average Caucasian don't even know that it existed, and so they don't understand how they don't understand how they don't understand why the African American community as a whole is in the position that it's in. They sit
Okay.
there and see the shit that they see. Like I was looking a couple of weeks ago, and there was a book. It was something about what is a Negro, and it said is he from the descendants of Adam and Eve, and blah blah blah. And this book was written in 1800 something. And let me tell you something, 1800 something, black people didn't have the right to read. So this book was geared towards white people. So this book was to paint a picture of African Americans to the white community. We had an identity that was created. We had an identity that was created. They called us liars, thieves, mobbers, all this other shit. But guess what happened in the 1900s, late 1800s? There were mobs of white people, Caucasians, fucking up shit that African Americans were thriving off of, business, economics.
When black folk wouldn't worry about it.
Hey,
Every
well,
time that
PK,
there was an advancement, every time that an advancement like was there was some prosperity that was happening, oh damn, there's a mob to shut it down.
I like his answer.
And there is a lot of history, a lot of history to back that up.
but
Can I
at
go
the same
next?
time, no, bro, we never was here to have an identity. We was
Hold on.
here
Hold
to
on. Hold
build.
on. Hold
We
on.
were
Hold
just
on.
here
Hold
to
on. Hold
build
on.
some shit.
Hold on. Hold
You
on. Hold
feel
on.
me?
I
So
feel
Our
you,
hold on. Hold
identity
on.
Elias.
was
So
never to
Yes.
have an
hold on. Hold
identity.
on.
It
Hold on,
took it
y'all. Hold
from
on,
us.
y'all.
You
Hold
right,
on, y'all.
Elias?
All right,
Yeah,
Hold
Paulo,
on.
let's go.
Hold on. Hold on. So, Alias, your initial answer was no.
No, no.
So, I want you to explain why you said no.
For a simple fact, racism, and as far as how we look at it as black people, we never was meant to have an identity. No way. You feel me? We was here to build something. We was brought here for a job. You feel me?
no, we weren't. We
Meaning
were
we was here
forced.
to serve a
Hold on.
purpose.
We were forced.
You feel me? So therefore, yeah,
Hey,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? We
was
was forced,
put it
but
to do a
I'm just
job.
saying we was only built here to serve a purpose as far
Yeah,
as a
it
workforce. You know
was.
what I'm saying? That's why we building, you know what I'm saying, doing cotton fields, building, so on and so fucking forth. The man
Right.
who fucking, you know what I'm saying, did heart fucking transplants, he died out the fucking hospital for the same reason. You feel me?
Right.
Shit like that.
Right.
Like we never was built here to have an identity. That's why we still don't have one now, bro. That's why like that whole racism shit, bro, it's never go in, nigga. You ain't gonna because you can't make somebody exist that was never meant to fucking exist.
Well, we weren't saying that.
Hmm.
Like, I agree with both plights, but the one thing that I am impressed with is for motherfuckers is not saying that by they're not giving examples by individuality. It's an overall view, and
Oh
that's
yeah,
how
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel, and that's how I feel. An overall view means that it may not affect ACB. It may not affect you, Polo. It may not
Right,
affect Elias, but it may affect someone. You get what I'm saying? So systemic racism is real. It just may not affect everyone how people try to make it sound like, oh, it stops everyone from succeeding.
right,
No, it
right.
doesn't stop everyone from succeeding, but it does stop some, and that's a problem.
Right. And as far as us having an identity, you know what I'm saying, that ain't gonna never stop. That's why Kanye said, even if you know what I'm saying, a millionaire, you just a nigga in a coat. That's real talk, bro. Cause you can have a millionaire vehicle, but nigga, you still just a nigga from the hood with no identity to them,
And that's
regardless of what you
okay
put.
though. And that's our
You
fault
feel
hey,
though,
me?
right there though. Cause see, you don't look
look,
to the next man to be valued.
so I got a
No, I'm
question.
just saying us as a whole, as a race, you know what I'm saying, just as a
Okay,
black race,
and
period.
and
You
and
feel
with
me?
that being said, is the black person's biggest issue seeking validation?
Nah, that's their biggest problem.
It's one of them.
That's their biggest problem. Because
Issue
put it
meaning
like this,
problem. Yeah,
because put it like this. I'm not gonna seek nobody's validation for the simple fact is, nigga, I'm already validated and certified out here. What am I out here pushing to be validated for from another nigga who may or may not be validating his
right,
damn self?
right. But
You feel me?
Elias, a lot of these little motherfuckers acting out because they just want validation,
Exactly. That's where it go into clout
and that's
chasing and
where it's
all of
fucked
that
up
come
because we
from.
were taught to not look for the next man for validation.
Exactly, bro.
So,
Exactly.
so what you're saying is it starts at home.
It starts at
Nah, it start with
home,
yourself. It start
but
with
most of
yourself.
these homes don't have daddies. You got to teach your sons that, and that's gonna come from a man, not a woman.
Right. But it
I'm just
start
being
with you
honest.
though.
Even Ace said he had an OG. You know what I'm saying? You had the military. You had uncles. You know what I'm saying? My brother, no, I was on his ass. We talked in bunk beds, nigga. I came home out of jail.
So,
Came home. We sleeping in bunk beds and we rapping. You get what I'm saying? You don't seek validation from no motherfucker. But if you got a woman at home, women do what? Now, I'm be honest with you. They seek what? Validation. When they put clothes on, they want to say, do I look good? Do my ass look fat? Do this and that and the third. That's
Right.
their
Right.
job to seek validation. And that's a problem because we got a lot of young men running around this motherfucker seeking validation because they got a lot of
Fact.
bitch assness in them.
Nah, that's some facts. That's some feminine ass
Right,
gangsters.
right. The bitch shit.
That's some feminine ass
so,
You
gangsters.
can't wrap your head around. It's like what?
so, with that being said, is the black man's absence the biggest issue for the black community?
Fucking right it
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
Yeah,
but it
Fucking
was
right it
yeah,
designed.
is.
Hold
It
on.
yeah.
is, but it was
Okay,
designed
so
that way.
so
It
if
was
if
designed
it
that
is
way.
hold on, if it is the biggest issue, so how can racism be the biggest issue?
You
How
said
can
what?
what?
Repeat that.
How can what?
I didn't say it was.
No, no,
What
What?
did he
I'm not.
say?
Hold on. Repeat that.
I
Yeah.
said if the black man being missing from the home is the biggest issue, so how can systemic racism be the biggest issue?
No.
Okay,
It's two
okay,
different
okay.
issues that led to this shit we was talking about.
Because it's the
Yeah,
image. Because it's
yeah,
the
A
image that's
black man
painted
trying to make it
upon the
for his
black
family
race.
that could
Because
stop
look,
him.
look, look. It's the
But
simple
for his
fact of right now
manners and
of
all
what
that
we
shit,
have going on in society right now. What's happening every day in society in America? A black man gunned down. That's
But
why.
hold on. Even
That's
with
how.
that, I can rebut that. Me and Slick have talked about this.
yeah,
I heard you.
Is
Let's
that
go.
propaganda or is that actual fact?
yeah.
Let me tell you something. It's propaganda in a way. It's propaganda in a way to create the racism to where it creates an image of the black race.
There you go.
So
We were
racism So racism at the end of the day is just an opinion that of
No,
It's a
somebody.
no, it's
creation.
not an
Hold on,
opinion.
no, let me finish. Let me finish, please. Please let me finish.
It's a
Got
narrative.
So that's where I was going, basically. Yeah. So
no,
racism is an opinion that has been switched into a narrative,
It's a
which has been
narrative.
switched into an agenda.
Right.
oh yeah, all day. Fuck yeah, all day, every day. Yes,
So how can it be
yes.
systemic?
Right.
Systemic
You
is
say,
corporate, bro.
you say I can
Like
be. You
say
say I
Polo,
can be
say right now
systemic
you trying to get it. Hold on, bro. Let me tell you this.
because look,
Say
it's
you trying to get
systemic because
a
it was the
hold on,
process.
bro.
It's a
Let
No,
me get
I
this.
know
process
Let
what
me
that you
hold
Polo
on.
laid
is
No,
Let
no,
me
out.
saying. I
no.
know what he means.
let me get this one,
It's a
bro.
process that you laid out.
Right. It's like say you trying to get a stream of fucking laundromats, right? You get
You
one,
said
two,
Hmm.
or three,
repeat
right?
that.
The minute you get past three, and you can spread it out through Missouri, that's a corporation, bro. Right? I mean,
All right, we start all over.
you
Start
know,
all over.
and they can
You're not the
hold you
first
from that.
part.
That's systemic racism. Systemic racism also is how you treat a group of people and give them the same type of cause. If Alias murk a motherfucker, you murk a motherfucker, and I murk a motherfucker, right? And we're
Hmm.
all black. They give us 5 years apiece. We get three white boys, and they give them 2 to 5. That's systemic racism. So systemic racism is more on a higher level. It's not on the ground level. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's
No,
That's
what
the
what I'm
that's
I'm
saying
the
is
saying about
systemic.
problem.
being
Like systemic racism
an
is so
agenda.
deep to a point to where it's unrecognizable. Like systemic racism is to a point to where literally I have man, Polo alias. I have a fucking white girlfriend, and she tells me that her mom uh, told her about black people and how they was porch niggas. You know what I'm saying? I went to school. I went to school, and I'm a nigga from the hood, and I went to school in an all white school.
I
Where in
did too.
elementary school, I was one or
Me
two
too.
white kids
Middle
out of
school.
the whole one or two of the black kids in the whole classroom.
They know, bro.
Middle school, it was
I
two or
told you
three,
they
like
knew.
yes, and so on. And I remember sixth grade, white kid ran up to me, said, "Nigger,"
Yep.
ran off. You know, I didn't fight him or nothing, but I was just
Remember
like,
I told you
man,
that to the
fuck,
smart
you know?
kids and put them in the white schools.
And
Yeah.
then
Me,
later,
my sister, and him was one of the first that they did in St. Louis, bro.
and then sit there, and then to later though be older and to look back at it is that I've learned that. Well, I believe that I've learned that people have learned this this manner of a way of treating people. Like people are cruel in this world. Like
See,
there is truly, I believe, a good side and a bad side, and there are two different forces that is going against each other. I'm not talking about a hell and a heaven, and I'm
no,
not
you're talking
talking
about
about
right
that.
versus
I'm
wrong
talking
right now.
about
Right, right
right
and
and
wrong.
wrong, right and wrong, and where people sit there and say and like right now, whatever, where right and wrong get mixed into politics, and it's such bullshit. It's such bullshit.
No, and like Polo, to like the fact that you like the statement you made, you know what I'm saying, when you was talking about like as far as the black man not being at home, like for the ones that's growing up without a black man at home, like that don't have that male figure, not even just women is a problem as far as raising the son, as far as raising them more
You
feminine
know what I
and not
mean?
having that masculine side, but also just TV period. When you seeing them just trying to demasculinize the whole man, you know what I'm
But
saying,
isn't
persona
that
and
your
perspective.
responsibility?
Let's keep
Right.
more on the
Yeah,
men
it
because
is. It
the
is.
women is a
But
secondary
Big
conversation.
Game.
You feel me?
But most boys they look up to like sports athletes and shit like that. Like we did. Like Bo Jackson was my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Ken Griffey was my nigga. You feel me?
Ken Griffey
Dion
did
was
what?
my
Yeah,
nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Jerry
I get
Rice
what
was
you're
my
saying.
nigga. So when you see your favorite sports figure wearing the same shit your mama wearing, it's like, oh damn, so it is okay for us to be out here in these tight ass long fucking shorts, that snake skin that come above our knees and shit. You feel me? All right,
Ain't
that's what's
nothing
up.
with
You
high
feel
knee
me? Like when you see
shorts.
Russell Westbrook dressing like a straight
That was
female,
the
they
era.
not
think
our
that
talk,
shit cool.
That
not
was
our
They
the
think
talk,
that
era,
not our
shit's
word.
cool.
That was
So
the
I
era.
mean,
They
what I'm
nothing
saying
wrong
is
with.
I
that's
got
I
you
what
some
the
still
spell.
men.
I
wear
ain't
it.
see
Not
you, boy.
wrong.
That's
Man,
just
I
the
didn't see
media
Chappelle.
pushing the demasculinize, you know what I'm saying, the black
it's
male though. You
it's
feel
more
me?
than the media.
There you go,
It's
To
Chappelle.
more
make
than the
us look
media. It's
feminine.
not our identity. It's not our
That was
identity.
that
We've been
was that
taught
was a,
this.
that was an era
We
though.
have
Like
been taught this
when it
shit.
came to shorts and stuff
Everything
like
we know,
that,
we've
many of the
been
women
taught in
were saying
America.
shorts, but they was just
I
cut
mean,
a
the
little
whole
different.
skinny jeans shit, man. Come on, slick
Oh,
skinny
you talking
jeans,
about
bro.
skinny jeans? Are
I mean,
you talking
even
about?
that, bro.
Okay, okay,
Even that.
okay.
Even that,
You gotta
bro.
clarify, Alias, because are you talking about
I'm just
cowboy
saying, all
jeans
right,
in the
this is
'90s, or are
all.
you talking about the skinny
No,
jeans that
this
these
all
new
right.
niggas
This
is wearing now?
Polo. This is all I'm saying. During the 70s, 80s, 90s,
Clothing
early
period.
2000s,
It's not
men and
our
women, we all had our own
culture,
gender type of
dog.
clothing. When
Yeah.
did
Not our
Okay.
niggas
culture.
start dressing like females and females start dressing like niggas, bro? Like, we didn't go through that. You feel me? We didn't do that. We didn't
Right,
do that. Like, we wasn't on the block, nigga, and I can see how much change you got in your pocket, my nigga.
right, right, right,
We
right.
nah,
That's
bruh.
true. That's
You
true.
feel me?
Unless you was a
Just
rock and
real
roll
talk.
star.
Just real talk, like your
Yeah.
girl rocking capris and your nigga putting on fucking leggings. What are
Right,
we doing out here, bro?
right.
And this is cool though. This is the swag. No, nigga, that's that fag. That's that
And I
feminine
like
ass
the way you
gangster
said that
shit.
even mamas had enough sense to
Right.
question you, like, what the fuck you
That's
doing?
that feminine ass gangster
And
shit, nigga. That's
motherfuckers
that
don't even
fag shit.
understand that
That
that's
ain't
the
got shit
crazy.
to do with
So,
gangster. That shit is feminine.
At all. Hey,
the
man, that
That
crazy
shit
shit
ain't got
shit
nothing
comes
to do
that
with
from
no
I was
gangster.
hold on, y'all. I was
yeah,
just telling Polo yesterday and Rob, well, aka Mr. Z, yesterday that I was at the store, bruh. I've been telling my brother, hey, you know they got Crazy Horse back out, right?
he said what?
Crazy Horse, remember
Crazy.
Crazy Horse with the Indian head on that bitch, and then remember they
Okay,
had,
okay, okay.
yeah, motherfucker was having one. Nigga said it's the beer for me or some shit he said, and I looked at him and I said, don't say that. Like I could keep my mouth closed. Any other time I wouldn't even tell you. But it's the beer for you, nigga. Like that's what girls say.
Right, right, right.
Like when did it be okay? When did it
This is
become
good for me.
okay for men to quote what women say? Women quotes
Exactly.
to
You
act
know what I'm
feminine.
Exactly.
saying?
I can't remember if he said it's the Indian head for me or it's the color for
Hey,
me, but that's what girls say.
Right.
Facts. Facts. My daughter say that shit,
And the nigga
man.
didn't get mad. He was like, "What?" I said, "Man, don't say that, man. That's what girls say, bro." You know what I'm saying? Like I had to tell him that, like, bro, don't say that, bro. How you expect women to
man,
take you seriously and you sound like them?
You
bro.
feel me?
Let me tell you
That's
something.
real. That's
Let me say
real though.
something. Let me say something. I tell my girl, everybody's confused, but some are more confused than others. So let me tell you something. Everybody in this goddamn discussion, we're all confused to a certain extent.
Explain.
Explain? Because
Explain
we all
that.
don't explain. We all don't
Ain't got
understand
any.
life.
Ain't
None
no
of us
goddamn
understand
explain.
life. None of us understand life.
Yeah, we don't understand life,
We
but we
don't.
know what we understand
Oh,
enough.
whoa,
Goddamn me to know not to
All,
talk
well,
shit
hold
to
on.
exactly.
girls.
All we
Life
know
is hold
is the
on.
best. All we do is
Well,
live life to the best that we know it through experience.
well, then, okay, because the way I see it is life is just a matter of perspective.
Right.
Right, right,
Exactly.
right. That's what I'm saying. Through
Exactly.
experience, right? Perspective meaning a perspective is an experience.
Perspective is just based on outlook,
Right. Or what
not
you want
really
out of life.
experience.
What your life is or what
So,
you want out of life.
yeah, so being confused or being ignorant to life, to say it in the least bit,
It's being
it's
ignorant to self.
it's
You
being
said
ignorant
being,
itself. Yes.
but when was there confusion and ignorance to life?
Well, no, no. Ignorance is. I'm not saying ignorant to be. You know.
Yeah, and like it's stupidity. It's like in
No,
Shakespeare terms.
because
It's
the
in
real
Shakespeare
definition
terms.
of ignorance is unknowing.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Right,
in
right,
So,
right,
Shakespeare
right, right,
terms.
right.
so to be ignorant to somebody, something is to not
I'm
know.
saying this:
So
But I'm
men
saying
know
is
when
that
not to
you
all
have,
that
sound
we
like
can do in
females.
life. No, what I'm saying that like in life, all we can do is be the best person that we can be.
No, that's
All the
true,
all like
and that's to no
and that's
fault,
all I'm
and that's
saying.
to no
Like
fault.
from the things that we were taught and
no,
told. No, from the things that we were taught and told and feel.
And
That's
that's to no
no.
fault. I get you that. That's to no fault. You was raised with your mama, ain't had no uncles, none of that shit. I can't
no,
blame the way
it's
you
not
act
from
where you
mama,
at.
but
But at the
yes, and it's
same
from
fucking
mama, but
time,
also like I
goddamn
said,
me.
it's from what you feel, from what mama told you to, like I said, from what you feel to as you get older, from what you start to understand and through experiences that you change your ways
Yeah.
if it's for better or for worse. like
Yeah,
like that, like that's
because you're
all,
not.
Right, but
that's
if you
life.
move in as far as not knowing what
None of us
life
really
is, as far as
know.
future outlook, you know what I'm saying? That's your fault, like from the beginning, because nobody knows what the future outlook of life is as far as the bigger
Right,
picture, the
exactly,
bigger perspective.
exactly,
You feel
exactly.
me? So
Uh,
if you like, if
uh,
you moving for that thought, or if you think, I mean, basically, if you
Well,
thinking
see,
that thought and you moving behind that thought, then you already moving behind that L already,
okay.
because you already
Hmm.
moving
okay.
behind the
Um,
unknown, because you already moving behind the unknown.
though, what if you look at the world and you see that there and you see that there's a book that explains life in a way that is reality around you.
Well, then
What do you
there
do with
there
that?
there there comes a
Then
certain
you
point
not
to where
following
you have
man.
to
Then you
determine.
following
You have to determine your
interpretation.
own reality.
Yes, you
You
have to
following?
determine your
No,
own reality
that's
because
interpretation.
that's interpretation, which turns into naivety.
Right.
Right. Because now you
If you're
reading
not
and
careful,
leading to
if you're
what the
not
book
careful,
saying.
because you could take that book as advice and then
Right.
adapt it to your everyday living. But if you take it as law,
Right. Now to where now
then
you
that
live in the book.
Right,
becomes
Now
then
you live
that's
in the
when it's
book.
bad. That's when it becomes
right,
bad.
exactly, exactly, exactly. Especially with the law,
Yeah.
especially with the law. Right,
The
That's
law is
why, like,
no,
for
hold on. The
example,
law is always up for interpretation.
right.
The law is not solid, no matter how much. Like I can agree with that when it comes to our people. The law is not solid. It's always up for interpretation. That's
Right.
why certain crimes get certain amount of times and others don't. And
right.
sometimes zip code and
Mm-hmm.
your pocketbook plays a part in that.
Yeah. Air
Yep.
codes matter.
Yep.
And your color too.
No, that's what
Facts.
he's
They
saying. Colored and all
No, what
that
I'm
falls under
saying,
area
like
code.
what I'm saying is like,
You get what I'm saying? If I say I'm from the 6316, I mean 63136, you know it ain't number black people there.
Right.
right.
It's on
Right.
the area
That's just
no,
code
what
like if
I'm
I
line.
saying
tell
is like,
Polo I'm 64118. He like, oh, all right, I know where you at.
Yeah, and I'm 6'1" 4'9". That's Harrisonville. So I can tell you right now, if I do an armed robbery right here and then Alias does one where he's at, I'll get less time than Alias will.
Yep.
Right,
Because he's in a
right.
better suburb area than me, even though we both in the suburbs.
And that's a fact.
Real
And that's
So
talk.
what's
that's why I
fucked up.
said the law is up for
And
interpretation.
then not
Yep.
only that, that's two black men. Don't let
Hmm.
Polo be white. He gonna give you
No,
less
no.
fucking
You know
time.
what? Well, Polo got a military background though. I don't.
Your life
That too.
matters.
You feel me?
That
So that's
too.
gonna
But
play
I'm
a big
saying,
part. That's
though
gonna
that
play a
he got
big
a
part.
military background, he can get off with that. He can get off with that because
Yeah,
they could put a
that's gonna
story
play
with
a big
Polo he
part.
can get away with. But I'm saying, but even if Polo was white, is he more less time? That's why I be telling people, where you from matters, nigga. If I'm all the
Damn.
way in California and the judge requested my jacket, nigga, to see what I did, that mean even though I had an ID in fucking San Bernardino, California, didn't mean shit to him. Where the fuck he born at? Oh, really? Get his
Right.
jacket.
Right.
This should be making me
Yep.
feel bad. This should
Yep.
be
Pull up
making
his
me feel
background.
bad because
Pull up his
I
background.
somewhat live like a white
Exactly. That mean
man.
he didn't give a fuck two shits about me, and he was gonna try to stick me with 25 to life.
Facts.
Man.
I
And
done seen it happen.
I've seen my FBI jacket. Like I've seen mine. You feel me? Like basically my situation was on some hot, just doing hot shit. Like nigga, I'm just a driver. You feel me? This is when the whole meth shit first started like popping. You know what I'm saying? This is like when was this? Like I want to say like '04. You feel me?
And
This is
you
like
spent a lot of
'04.
time in Independence.
No, no, this was up here. PK came on this. I was just a driver. The white chick, she was a fucking college student. You know what I'm saying? She was going for a
Oh
master's
shit!
and shit in pharmaceuticals. You know what I'm saying? As far as like chemistry and shit. You know what I'm saying? Making pills and shit from scratch. All that type of shit. So these niggas was
Beautiful
like
profession.
cooking down the pills because it was the pseudoephedrine. You know what I'm saying? Because they was
That's
making the meth.
Sudafed.
Yeah, and this nigga was making the old school meth, which they call R&B, red and black. They make it with match
Yeah.
tabs and all of this. You feel me? Match tabs and shit. The little red part off the matches and shit. So
Uh,
fucking they in there cooking this shit up, nigga. Bro, we got caught with like I want to say 5,000. What was it? Like basically like 5,700 fucking pseudoephedrine pills. You know what I'm saying? Because they was stealing them out of Walgreens and shit before they started protecting them, putting them behind the counter and shit. You feel me? So because of that, I didn't get no time because only the one nigga who was cooking this shit, only he got a background for it. I ain't got no prior for no drug shit related. You know what I'm saying, to that shit or no mess shit. So they already knew it was just me driving and shit. It's two white motherfuckers and the nigga driving. They already knew what it was. So, but because of that, I got an FBI jacket on me for life. So meaning, if I get caught with any kind of pseudoephedrine shit, oh nigga, I'm doing a hot 15, nigga, off the
You
rip.
can't even buy. You can't even buy Sudafed.
Yeah, they won't. Hey, that's why I was just about to say they won't even let me buy that shit. You feel me?
damn.
Just because I got caught in a car with that
Right.
shit. Nah, I didn't even have the shit in my system because nigga, you know they drew blood and shit.
But that
So I
be
didn't
kind
have
of
no
trippy
yeah.
though.
methamphetamines.
But
Yeah,
that
I
go.
didn't have no meth. All the shit
But
I had in my system was
hey,
tree. Huh?
that go back to what he said. Like I said, I got caught in California. He wouldn't look for my fucking jacket. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got. What we was talking about earlier. Goddamn it, what y'all was talking about?
Right,
Systemic
right,
racism. He didn't care that I already was in California for 3 years and had not
right.
been in trouble. You understand me?
Nah, I
He
feel
didn't
you.
care about that. He asked where I was originally from
Bro, yeah,
and
yeah, he wanted to
requested
know
my
your roots.
jacket.
Yeah, he wanted to know your roots, your background.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep, I'm already knowing, bro. I'm already
So he
knowing.
didn't care about the good that I was in the California Conservation Corps. And that, believe it or not, I put that on jobs right now, and Nick Jobs know what that is. It's like next to the Peace Corps. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying?
Yep,
And
yep.
he didn't give a fuck about that. He was just like, okay, been out 3 years. Where's jacket at?
Who the fuck is this nigga? Yep, yep. Who the
Go
fuck
get
The
his
is this
fucking
reason,
nigga?
jacket. That's systemic racism. He could
the
Yep.
have took
reason
that
why
three
I
years, like,
posed
okay,
that,
he ain't been in no trouble. He ain't did nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
What's
right.
the
the
problem?
reason
Why
why
you in trouble now? You know what I'm saying?
I
No, I
get
feel that.
the reason why I had posed that question is because I want to see everybody's point of view on this because like I said I was raised different and
Right,
I took a different path,
right, right.
so it's a way for me to get to understand certain things. Even though I've seen certain things, I want to understand everybody.
Right, right,
Right.
right, right,
Nah,
right, right.
hey, just like with you, Polo,
Respect
like
on that.
my whole view with the military is completely different, but I know you serve. So the fact that I rock with you and I know you serve, that's why I don't disrespect the military, even if I have
Exactly.
views that's different towards them. It's because I rock with you just out of respect for you and you serving. You
Hey,
feel
You
me?
Zerna
know,
told this nigga, man, I ain't
we
going
talk
that
about
shit. I'm not doing that shit. I said, but
right.
they the real gangsters. And motherfuckers who gonna go, they the real gangsters, G. On my mama.
No, but and my only issue with the military is, man, it ain't even a black thing, a white thing, man. It's just a military thing, bro.
Nigga, that
Y'all
shit
say,
gangster, G. Nigga,
and my
nigga,
issue with
nigga,
them is
nigga.
this is
I
my
be the
issue with
first
the
to say that
military.
I'm a punk when it comes to that shit. You not dropping me off for nobody else's hood, nigga. And I don't know the fuck to run.
Man, for real.
Right. Like
Nigga, I'm
my
not
only
afraid to
thing.
say that shit. I don't give a fuck who
I
try to
don't know.
clown me on that
Nah, I
shit,
feel
nigga.
you.
Any of that shit. This nigga
I
got
feel
dropped
you.
off all the way over there in some hot ass sand and the sun beaming down on him with limited magazines and all that shit. Could you
Yeah,
imagine,
that,
motherfucker?
yeah. Can
Right.
you
Fuck
imagine?
all
Can
that.
you imagine
Nah,
what you had to tell a motherfucker to get a person to do that?
right. And my only issue with the
Some bullshit,
military
right?
is, bro,
Some
is
bullshit.
that
Some
y'all
bullshit. Hey,
say,
No,
hey.
you got to
but
have it in you.
my only
Yeah,
thing
have it
is,
in you. I hear you. I hear you.
huh,
But at the same time, though, you're going up against some odds that you don't know what the fuck you're up against. It doesn't
Exactly.
matter.
Oh no,
You
I
don't
can tell you
know.
some stories. Some motherfuckers bitched
Right,
out and
I
they got
heard
a
you.
bullet to the head.
Right, and exactly, and I heard that, and I understand it. But what I'm saying is that you're going to a complete different geographical, different world, different
Fucking
like
right, a different world, bruh.
it's
right. But
man.
let me ask
Fuck
you this,
that. It's
Polo.
Earth, but nigga, that's a different world, bruh. These niggas
Let
getting
me
And
fucking
then it becomes
AKs
on
at
a
6
point
years
of being
old.
able to trust the person of what they tell you. You like, man,
Bruh, they
like
getting AKs at 6 years old.
That's why I will never fire an AK-47. I laugh at niggas with
So
AK-47s.
that's why when people
like in the
and we
military,
and
that's why they call
for the chat, we
operations.
not
That's why
on
they call
this
them
nigga nuts.
operations
I'm talking about
missions.
military people, bruh. I never did. Like I tell them straight, I ain't doing that shit. I ain't afraid to say I ain't doing that
I'm
shit.
not doing it.
I'm
I'm not
not
doing it.
going or y'all
Huh?
got me fucked up.
But
But
You
the
got me
ones
fucked
who
up.
choose, nigga, On my mama, y'all got my support. You need some money? I'll give you some money. I'ma help you. Nigga, you got the real balls.
Hey,
To
but
Absolutely.
answer,
Polo, let me
to,
ask you
I
though,
salute
since
you.
you served,
Take
you know
balls.
what I'm saying? Since you actually served and shit, you feel me? I don't want to feel like I want to ask you because I want to know if my opinion is justified. You know what I mean? That way, you know, if I'm standing on BS or if I'm standing on some real shit. You feel me?
okay.
Basically, you know what I'm saying? I only got two issues, bro. One, politicians push us to, you know what I'm saying, serve and protect, you know what I'm saying, get in the military, do this, all of this. But y'all not pushing y'all kids to do that. You feel me? Like our kids and we good enough. Just as a, you know what I'm saying, people, period. You know what I'm saying? As a human race, period. Not even a black thing or a race thing, just people, period. You feel me? That and then the fact that y'all take these people and then basically fuck them up mentally, send them home, and then they don't want to take care of these people, bro. Like that shit ain't cool. You know what
Right,
I'm
ain't got
saying?
nothing for them. Facts. Yeah, it's true.
Well, the way I look at it, first, um, damn, I forgot what I was gonna say about that, but okay. I it, People may not agree with it, but this is my country, and I love my country. People have to separate the country from the government. People have to learn to do that. I've learned to separate my country from my government. I love America. I love America all the way from North Carolina all the way to East Oakland. I love America. So I believe if you love America, you have a civic duty to protect America. That's just it with that. But far as the politics with military, look, money talks in everything you do. Money talks. If you got the money not to go, why the fuck would you go?
Mm.
But Polo, I got a question, right? All right, say for
Mhm.
all right, but does but does your country love you? Because when you come back from serving your time, you can't even you got to go through hoops and hurdles just to get, you know what I'm saying, benefits and stuff.
You're confusing the country with the government.
The same, oh, but technically it's the same thing.
No, it is not. You're my countrymen, aren't you?
Yeah.
I would die for you,
Country,
Chappelle.
man.
Slick,
What's a
you my
country, man?
countrymen. You're
What is
my
a country,
countrymen.
man?
Nah,
I get
I
what you're
know
saying. I
exactly where
get what he's
Polo coming
saying. I get
from.
what he's saying.
I
He's
get what you're
saying,
And I was just
saying. Yeah,
asking,
I
what's
get
a
what you're
country,
saying.
man? I was
Right.
asking, what's a country, man?
but I understand where you know what I'm saying. I
The
understand
government
both
is
sides.
the
Meaning
government is the
with
shit
Polo,
that fuck up.
he's saying, man, yeah, I love y'all as a people, man. I don't want to see like if it was Asians, if it was Arabs, if it was any other race over here invading us. Of course, we gonna protect each other. That race shit gonna go out the window. It's a
That
Right, that's
race
why
shit
universal
is
to
gone.
I
everybody.
feel that if we was
So
on the same
so
block
that's
and
why I
like you
said,
said we was invaded, Polo be the first motherfucker to be suited and booted.
yeah, so
Right.
I
Right.
respect where Paulo comes from, and I understand his side. But at the same time, I understand where Ace coming from though too, because he like, but you know, it's the government and they part of this country. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
but
And the
what
No, the
Polo's
politics
saying
government is
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 just
what
built
Polo's
around
saying
this
is
the
country.
what
government
Polo's
is
saying
in this
is not
country.
the same thing. The government controls that shit, but he's saying that it's not the government, it's not the
Yeah,
country.
that's why I said I understand both sides. So
Yeah, the government is not the country. Like you, my nigga, I will go protect you. Goddamn me, you not the government.
Any
You know what I'm
white
saying?
person, any black person, any Hispanic person who comes across the border and get their citizenship, anybody who is a natural citizen of America,
You
you
got
have
that
a
back.
birth certificate, you have a social security card, or you have a green card. I will protect you with my life.
Right.
no, I
Right
I
was
now.
will
that's
I
literally
exactly.
feel
lay
you.
down my life for you.
Right now, I hear you.
I'll be
Nothing
the
wrong with
first
that.
one in and last one out if need be.
Right, and that's why I say I understand what he was saying as far as
Right, right,
separating
right.
the country
Right,
from the
right. Now I
politics.
get
You
it.
know what I'm
Now I
saying?
get it now. I get it
I get
now.
it.
Nothing wrong with that.
So no, but that's why I was asking Paul. So you know, am I standing on real shit or was I standing on bullshit?
Yeah, it's real shit and bullshit at the same time because you got to separate the government from your country. Because I joined the military for three reasons, three main reasons. Reason number one, I didn't have a plan and I was homeless.
Right.
Reason number two, hell, I needed a paycheck and I needed something that was going to benefit me later on in life.
Right.
And
Yes.
three, I wanted to show some of the young brothers that I grew up with and the ones who had little brothers and shit like that. Hey, dope ain't the only way to eat.
No, I feel that though. I
Something
feel
better
that
out
though.
here. Yeah, I feel that.
I feel that.
And I can tell you right off the hand, and it hurts me. It really does hurt me. It hurts my heart. I've been treated worse by black people than I have by white people since I've been out the military.
No, that's real though. That's
I've
real.
been treated worse by my own people. Cause
How so?
now I'm a Fed slick. I mean not slick, but Chappelle. I'm a Fed. You can't trust him.
Yeah, yeah. He the
He
police.
the folks.
Yeah,
You can't trust
he the
him.
boys. He the
Well,
boy.
you
He
just
one time he
come over to
found
St.
out he was
Louis,
12.
shit, where you start a new profile, man. Shit, like for real, like what the fuck? For
Yeah.
real.
No, that's real
Fuck
talk,
that.
but that's
Yeah, that's
because
some real
the
Fuck
shit
that.
right
ignorance of the hood, as far as you can't
Exactly.
separate,
So come to
you
St.
can't
Louis
separate
or another
civilian
city.
authority from military authority. It's not the same thing.
Right.
You
there. No,
talking
it's
about
not.
police? That's civilian authority,
Because
bro. You
if
feel
this
me?
motherfucker don't pay
So
attention to
do you still
politics,
hold authority right now, like to this day?
Do I still hold authority?
Yes, to this day.
I still hold rank even though I'm medically retired. I still hold my
Exactly,
rank.
exactly. So rank. So what I'm saying is, if you move to a different location, no one would know. I mean, people could research or whatever, but once a person get to know who you are and start off that versus start once
but
they
bruh,
automatically assume a person of who you are,
but
like I don't.
I think the fact of the matter is that nobody should be trying to intertwine him because he was in the army
Exactly.
with
But
black
these
Should
are
be
Exactly.
people.
people that I
congratulated.
grew up with.
Right.
These
He
were
should
people
Right.
I
shouldn't have
grew
to.
up with.
We went to high
He should
school
be
and
looked
shit
at as
with.
the highest thing. Like
No,
this
I
nigga,
got okay.
this nigga
So,
this nigga get woke up at 2 in the morning and
yeah,
say,
no,
"Hey,
I
you
feel you.
got
I
to
ain't got
go to
no
defend this block right now." He gonna get up and do it.
right
Right.
now. I ain't got no answers for that.
Go run a 5K with all your backpack and full gear on real
Right.
quick.
When other
Yeah.
motherfuckers ain't gonna do that, bro. So a cop not even gonna do that.
You
So
feel me?
why put
That
him in the
hey,
Right.
same
but
No,
category
heard it.
as
hey,
Hey,
a
my shit
police
says
officer?
about the
He
my
a
shit
real
say switching to
motherfucker.
sleep mode in like 14 seconds. I don't know what's going on. Y'all know is that some Streamlab shit going on right now? Stream
Say
your
that
shit. It
again.
say switching to sleep mode. It says switching to sleep mode in 5 seconds. I don't know what's going on right now.
On your
nah,
phone?
that's like your battery.
Get powered off. What the fuck?
No, you need to plug your phone up, bro.
Phone.
Oh,
I'm on my
you
computer.
on a computer?
Then it switch. What the fuck is going on? No, it's all good. All right, I'm still listening. It just switched over. Somehow my TV turned off.
That's your TV, yeah. That's your monitor.
Yeah, no, I'm
That's
still
your
listening.
monitor.
But nah,
That
man,
ain't
that's
the
why I
screen
like to
door.
keep it a bed, bro. Seeing a cop do that lieutenant like that, man, that really
Look, I can
irritated the
show
hell out of
y'all.
me, bro. That
But
irritated
Hold
the
cops
on.
shit
want
out
the
of me.
same praise. Don't get it misconstrued. Cops want the same praise as military though,
Yeah, but no, hey, and that's
and they
exactly
can't
why
get
that
that.
cop
We can't
did
give
that
them
nigga
that.
like that. That's why he did that nigga.
Look,
Like, bro,
I
that's
got
a lieutenant, bro. We talking about a fucking lieutenant, bro. That's still
I have
active.
my bag
That's
ready
still active.
just for trouble.
Still active, bro.
All right.
And that nigga got done like that. A lieutenant that's still active,
He was
bro.
not
We take
active.
Wait,
it.
hold on. What's
He was on his
I,
way to be active.
yeah,
He
no, I
was getting
believe
activated.
no,
Nah,
I
he
believe
said he
you,
was still active.
Polo.
You know what I'm saying? Like still
see
actively serving. You know what I'm saying? That's what he. I mean, he was just saying he was still actively serving. You feel
see
me?
Who?
I
He was
got
in
my shit
reserves. He
ready
was in
just
reserves though. He was on his way to report to duty.
I
You
got
feel
my
me?
shit ready just in case some shit pop off.
Right, but it's just the fact that he was a lieutenant, bro. This ain't it. One, he military. Period. So he already outrank you because he military.
Right. No,
Period.
I'm not discrepancy none of that because we was talking about that the last time.
But just
Yeah.
being a lieutenant at that, like, bro, he's even outclassed you on his ranking on the fucking
Facts.
military
But the
level.
thing
Like,
was,
what are
they
you
was
doing,
cops and they
bro?
didn't like that.
But
Exactly.
I told you what that was, Slick. A lot of people joined the police force because they didn't have the balls
To go military.
to go to the military.
And there's
And
a
if
lot
they
of niggas that
did,
got bullied.
yes, yes.
Hmm.
A lot of
And,
police, bro, is a bunch of niggas that got bullied in school. A bunch of soft ass niggas that had acne. Those niggas who fucking they bitches every day.
Facts.
and you want to hear something that's even worse with it? You don't even have to have a high IQ to join the police force.
You
Fuck
don't.
no.
And here in Missouri, nigga, they don't even give you the full mental fucking check and evaluation like they supposed to.
Fuck no. My
And
brother could tell you about that.
here's the even killing part. If you have a high IQ, they won't hire you.
Yep. You too smart.
How so?
You
Because
you
you
are
probably
not
Hey,
deemed
Colin,
uncontrollable.
I
you
got
are not
denied. I
susceptible
got
to
denied
following
to the
orders.
police
Yep.
academy
You're
for
not
that.
acceptable to
I got
follow the
denied to the
direction. Yep.
police academy for that.
Yep. Yup.
literally
Have to
in
follow
St.
them.
Louis.
Meaning you can't be a robot. You can't be trained.
Exactly. I got denied for that. Let me tell you something. It was called the LEAP or whatever, Law Enforcement Aptitude Battery Test, LEAB or whatever, a Law Enforcement Aptitude Battery Test, and that's the first component of the St. Louis Police Academy test. Second component is the oral. Third component is the physical. So I took this first component. I ended up failing or whatever. Somehow I don't know how I felt because it was all like situational shit, common sense shit to me at least. For what I thought. So then after that, um, I ended up getting a letter in the mail, like I said, like a month later, and it said that I passed the second component. That was the oral test, and that I was ready to take the physical test, which was like push-ups and then like this test, like within mileage, how much you
1
can
minute
run
of
and shit like
push-ups,
that.
1 minute of
You
sit-ups,
know,
and a 1 mile run.
well, see, yeah, I ain't know all that. But anyway, I tried to contact the surgeon, and the motherfucker never got to me or whatever. And so it was that, and it was to go to work or whatever. At this time, I was working at a restaurant or whatever. And I told her the situation or whatever. She was like, "Well, if you don't come in, you fired, pretty much." And that's the option that she gave me. And so I ended up going to work or whatever. But the thing about it with that, I'm not sure the reason why I got these letters, the letter to advance or whatever, is because I have a cousin that was actually fucking around with the captain at the time that actually knew that I was trying to get into the academy. So I don't know if he pushed something forward then or not or whatever to make that happen. But I bullshit you not when I sit there and say that I failed the test, the first test, but then got a letter in the mail telling me that I could advance to the third component of testing
That tell
of the
you something.
STLPD.
Man,
Like I swear to God, I'm not bullshitting. Like I'm not like it's no lie, man. Like I wish I still had the letter like to prove that
You
shit.
should
But
have did
anyway,
it.
nah, but that's why you
but
get
I
so
didn't
many
want to turn
people.
around. I didn't want to do that shit and then they turn me around. Let me tell you something, man. I was constantly for a couple weeks trying to get in contact with this goddamn sergeant. Like I bullshit you not. I bullshit you not. And the motherfucker never got back in touch with me. I called. Like it was man, it's just crazy.
Hey,
Crazy.
let me say this, and this ain't saying because I'm not like saying this to defend this whole ass nigga or none of that, so don't take it that way. But like with the whole evaluation process, bro, it's messed up with the police. But I can't really be mad at all police because at the same time, y'all hiring people that got mental health issues. So meaning that Chauvin shit, bro. That nigga, you could tell this nigga got some PTSD problems when a damn ambulance medic got
Oh
to tap
yeah.
this nigga hella hard. Like, hey, get off the nigga, bro.
I'm gonna tell
He's
you
Like,
in
this
why
nigga
I'm
look
mad
literally
at
just
him.
his
blacked out.
eyes.
Like, bro just blacked out and went somewhere else. This
Just
nigga's
I'm gonna
over
tell
in
you why
Korea
I'm mad
somewhere.
at
hey,
him because
it's a
He
spiritual
over in
war
they
going
used to
Korea
on
work
right
with
now,
somewhere.
each other,
man.
bro.
He ain't even here right now, bro. Like
Spiritual
this
war
nigga is
going on
somewhere
right
else
now.
mentally. You
Look at
can
all the
see it
dumb
in this
shit going
nigga's
on.
face. He ain't even here mentally, my nigga. Why is he
Alias.
even on the
He
force,
didn't like
bro?
that man from the jump. They used to work with each other doing security. He
Yeah,
already
at a
had something
bar.
against
Yeah,
him.
But I'm just saying,
He
as
already
far as
had something
mentally,
against
nigga.
he already had something against him. Now it been different. None of that had came up. But they used to work at a club together and
But I'm just
everything.
saying though, even for you to be able to do that shit in a public manner, bro, you feel me? And work your
Hey
job in your
Ellis, I
mind because
believe there's
that's
some
some
spiritual
mental
warfare
shit,
going
bro.
on.
Ain't no normal motherfucker go do no shit like that, my
Ellis,
Well,
I
nigga.
Alias.
believe it's some spiritual.
Alias.
Let me tell you
I'm gonna
something.
tell you
I
right now,
believe
I
there's
could
some
do a whole
spiritual.
lot of shit. I just
Meaning,
got
like,
now
all right,
enough
slick,
sense to do
slick.
what
This
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
get
saying.
caught.
Some nigga come to your
excuse
job.
me.
Are you hired, nigga? All
I'm
right,
being
he
real.
fuck up all the floors. You feel me? He fuck up all the floors. Like, all right, you fucked up my money. Okay, you mad as fuck. You gonna cuss him out, fire the nigga. You gonna beat his ass, but nigga, I ain't gonna catch you at work. I'm gonna catch you. You know what I'm saying? When we ain't got regular street clothes on. You feel me? And I'm just like you, my nigga. You
Yeah,
feel me? So meaning it's a time and a place for everything. That
Excuse
nigga,
me.
even if that shit happened. Nigga, he did that shit intentionally, but nigga, mentally, he ain't there because that's not no normal shit to risk your job to do that.
Excuse me.
so
I,
I
I
got a
I have a question, real quick. Has anybody watched the movie Manchurian Candidate?
Fucking right.
Doesn't
I
that movie
seen
seem
both of them.
oddly accurate?
Yeah. Where he
Man,
was programmed to do it. They said something to him and he
Like,
did it.
man.
so it just seems awful convenient that with gun laws about to be passed, there's a bunch of mass shootings.
But
white
that's what them
supremacy.
movies was
Yeah,
based off
white
of too.
supremacy.
Hypnotism and all that. You know that, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So
But
so
you
so
see how they
we so
put
we can
that
sit here and talk
behind the
about this, but we
background.
can't talk about like how white supremacy and structuralism is a thing?
No,
Oh,
it
we could talk
is.
about
No,
that,
it
but
is.
No. I'm saying like I'm talking about the connection of it though. You know what I'm saying? Like
well,
I feel like
bro.
it's all
PK,
like
hey
tied
PK,
and
why do
woven
you think?
into it
Why,
beyond understanding. Some
that's
of
why
it.
they wear hoods, bro. Why do you think they
but
wear hoods?
I
Because
can't
those
blame
are
everything
police.
on white people.
Nah,
Blaming
like
everything
No,
on
No.
everything.
Polo. I'm not saying that. Polo. Yeah. No. I'm not one of them motherfuckers. Come on, man. Come on. No,
okay.
I'm not one of them motherfuckers. No, stop playing. Stop playing, dude.
Oh,
Come on, I was
well,
raised better than
forgive
that.
me, forgive
I
me.
was
I didn't
raised
know
better than that.
that.
Stop playing with me, man. I was raised
No,
better than
not
that, man.
everything,
America,
man.
let
But
me tell you something.
like I
Let me tell
said,
you
I done
something.
turned it from the
America is
man
the
to powers that be.
opportunity of opportunities in this goddamn country. Let me tell you something. You cannot get a better opportunity in America than any other country, no matter what race you are. Stop. Yeah. No. Come on. No.
But
You
that's a
can.
contradiction
No.
for you. Then that's a
nah, that's
contradiction
a
No,
for
it's
you.
not a
contradiction.
contradiction. Let me tell you something. It's not a contradiction. But when it comes to a mass level, you can sit there and become. Look at Jay-Z. He's a billionaire. Did he turn his back on the community? I feel like he did. I'm sorry to say that. Look
So
at all these
okay,
other people that's on these higher totem poles that did this shit that fucked over other people to get where they are
Yeah.
for
they
the
learned the
riches.
rules.
Yes, exactly. That's the
Right.
American
But
way.
that's the thing, right there. Right,
That's the
hold on.
American
Right there.
way.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. The rules, the only rule that is out there is the white people rules.
Make it at
There's
any cost.
right.
And that's the American
So,
way.
but when you try to go against the establishment of them rules and try to be right,
Right.
like if Jay Z
Exactly.
tried to make instead of
You can
him
do it
1 billionaire,
individually.
it's hold on. Instead of him Jay Z trying to make himself a billionaire, what if he was trying to make himself into 4 millionaires? They wouldn't have liked that.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
You
not
see what
at
I'm
all.
saying?
But see,
And they wouldn't have made it. So
and see,
that's what I be meaning when I be talking that systemic
let
racism
me
shit.
ask you, Slick.
You can do
Let
it
me
on an
ask you this.
individual level, but when you don't get masses involved, hell no, you get shut down.
Hey,
Facts.
Slick,
No, that
let
can't
me ask
happen.
you. Do you got an issue? You know what I'm saying? Like me personally, people like Jay Z, you know what I'm saying? Oprah, people who are black billionaires that's in a position that most of us ain't, who got the bread to do at least something for us. You know what I'm saying? Not like just as a people as a whole. You feel me?
Mhm.
Does it irritate you? You know what I'm saying that the people who are black that are billionaires in a doper position to help us don't they do the least amount? You
No,
feel
no,
me?
no.
I don't have a
It
problem with
doesn't.
that.
Well,
Right.
You know
It
what I'm
well,
saying?
doesn't.
okay,
But
let's
this
be
my whole
clear. Let's be
all right, this
clear.
my only
Let's
issue.
be
This my
clear.
only issue.
Hold on.
This
Let me
my
answer
only
this.
issue.
Hold on. It was
I don't have an
directed towards
issue with
me.
it either, Polo. But if you gonna talk about it, be about it. Now if you ain't gonna be about it, then cool. Keep your money, do what you do. But don't be out here speaking this black
I
righteous shit and you not doing black righteous shit with your bread. Fuck
can
them
I answer
words.
this. It was directed toward me. I'm answering this straight to
Go ahead,
me.
Slick. You good.
How it goes is this: you gotta think that man is on a what they call that?
A
You got the.
spectrum.
There you go. So each way he got a 4-way look at him, right? You got 4 telescopes on him at one time at all times.
Bing,
So
bing, bing.
he has to pick and choose what he does. Now, to most often to us, it looks really fucking bad because I'll be the first to say he made title and placed it in Switzerland when it should have
Right.
been placed where he was from
That's what
and
I was
gave
mad
black
about
people
that too, bro.
jobs. You get what I'm saying?
I
So
was
don't
mad about
think that
that
I'm
too.
taking Jay Z's side. But
No,
what
I
I
feel
will
you.
say is this Jay Z has to watch what the fuck he does. Because just as long as it took him to get it, boy, he can lose that shit super fast in one night. And he know that. And that's the systemic racism that we're talking about. You can't you shouldn't have to be on pins and needles about
What you
what
do
the
is your
fuck you
money.
want to do.
Right.
Beyonce does way more than him. You know why they let Beyonce do way more than him? Because she's a
Because
female.
she's a black woman.
And a black female. And don't nobody take her seriously. But a black male is more influential than any nigga on this fucking earth.
That's true. I just have an issue with their philanthropy. I have an issue with it. It's not that my issue is not that they're being phila- philanthropic. That's not my
Right.
issue
Right.
because I admire that. But my issue is this is gonna sound really bad. This is gonna sound
I mean,
really
shit, I
He
thought
fucked
said
I
up.
really
sound bad
bad.
enough. Shit.
This is gonna sound real fucked up.
I don't think it's gonna sound fucked up. Just say what you want to say. That's the problem with the
Hey,
world.
give it that pure.
Just say
That
what you
pure.
want to say.
Okay. What the fuck is the
Raw and
point of
uncut.
building wells and building schools in Africa when there's kids in America that are suffering?
That's
There's
Right.
nowhere
kids in
near fucked
America
up.
No,
That's
that
that's
don't.
not
yeah, no,
fucked
that's
up.
bullshit. That don't
I've
sound
been
bad.
saying that about
What you
Oprah
talk
and
right?
everybody else.
I
Them
agree
niggas, now
with you.
those,
No,
now
because
talk about
we
Oprah,
got
talk about all them motherfuckers. Let me tell you something what's fucked up. You know what's fucked
Can't
up?
help, gotta
When you
help
got
home first,
Oprah
man.
spending billions in fucking Africa, then you got Bill Maher spending motherfucking millions. Bill Maher, that they talk about
Boy,
that's
yeah.
not Christian, don't believe in God,
Hey,
but he spent billions on black kids to go to school here.
hey. And then you get into
Tell me
Bill
what's
Gates
wrong
as
with that
well.
math
It's
equation.
even more ridiculous. Bill Gates
Right.
controls a lot of the goddamn harvesting that goes on in fucking Africa. Look into it. He
no.
controls a
China
lot
bought
of
that
the
from him. China
harvesting.
bought that from him. Those tungsten mines. China bought that from him.
Yeah, but
No,
he
I'm not
still
talking
got
about.
that
No, I'm
high
not talking
ass
about
yield.
mines. I'm not talking about mines. I am talking about seeds, genetic,
Oh,
GMO
them
seeds.
GMO
I'm talking
seeds
about
he got.
seeds. That's what
You
I'm
know,
talking about.
he
I'm not
said
talking
that's
about
where it was gonna
mines.
be at because he believed like
I'm talking about
when it's
seeds,
gonna be a
man.
time where the world end that you're gonna need seeds
Yeah,
to
so he
plant shit.
trying to
It's like a
collect all
And
the
seed
did
vault.
y'all
funds
know
and
that there's a
shit like
seed
that.
bank? If I'm not mistaken, a
No,
seed bank,
that's why I just said, bro.
whichever
You didn't hear me?
Arctic is up north, there's a
You didn't hear
seed
me,
bank
bro?
up there.
No, the
Bro didn't hear me,
Antarctic
did
is
he?
down south.
Right.
The
But you ain't
south, the
hear me.
south,
You ain't hear me,
hello.
bro. Yeah, so that's what I just said. He believed that when the world end, he has a seed bank over there, and then you
Mhm.
Okay,
just
no,
said
bro, I had
seed
to walk
vote.
away
There's
for a
seed vote
second.
down south, but
Okay,
they didn't take that seed bank from him, and he know that he believes in his whole heart of hearts. The first man was born where in Africa. Why you think he got
Yeah,
that fucking house there and all them hills and building that city and shit over there? And
yeah,
also, if you want to go by the map, Africa is the highest point of Earth. So if there was a
it is
flood, where do people need to go?
Africa,
so I
specifically.
got a
The
question.
nigga
I got
not
a
dumb. The
question.
nigga is a
I
genius
got a
for a
question.
reason, bro.
I
You
got a
know what I'm
question.
saying?
Do y'all think I got a question? Do
And
y'all
hold on.
think
Like I said this, and by him having that seed bank, as he calls it, that seed vote, that makes him God if the world got washed, right? That means he would control the food.
True.
but all right, so I got a question though. All right, let's look at in America or whatever. I just speak on the African American race or whatever. We have the lowest suicidal rate, which how's that? Which I don't. I mean, it's kind of silly. Like how that's even possible through the horrific shit that the
That shit
race has
is,
gone through in history. It's silly as shit or whatever, how that's even possible or whatever. We look at, you know what I'm saying, entertainment. We look at sports, you know what I'm saying? We look at, if you get real deep down in history of engineering and shit like that, and you realize that who created what, and shit, to me, myself, or what I've studied is the black race. Like, you know, you look at the Bible and shit, like, and you look at the power of what Christianity has done with slavery.
Please don't make this about a Christian issue, because
No, no, I'm
slavery had
not.
nothing to do with Christianity.
I mean, I mean, I
at
hear you
the
or
end of it, it
whatever.
did.
I
No,
mean, I hear
because if
you.
that's the case, then Islam is a religion about slavery.
Two different
Because
countries.
Hey, Polo, but
Muslims were enslaving people way before anybody.
True, but
that's what
that
they
was two
say.
different
But it's
countries, though.
but as far as we know, though, like we know what we know in America that happened, and what happened is that we were religion was put on us. We
No,
were they told us
look.
like look, we were brought into this country, and this religion was put on us. Like it's literally that simple. Are we living in reality, or are we living in what we want to believe?
Well, I wouldn't go that far because, like I said, it's been proven that a form of Christianity, however you want to put it, was in Africa before time. And you got to remember, people who were sold as slaves in Africa were not privy to that region. The ones who were actually
What
sold.
region?
So they
What
sold
region? We talking west, east, south? What region of Africa?
the ones that were sold on the eastern seaboard near Nigeria, Ghana, all those places.
East, wait, hold, you said Ghana? Wouldn't it be
I
western?
mean, Ghana is. I'm sorry, forgive me for
Yeah, I'm saying wouldn't it be
misinformation.
western? Like,
Ghana's
because
west, but I'm
eastern would be
talking about.
Ethiopia, and if we can get into the
I meant
magazines
to
if
say
you want.
western. I'm getting my coast is confused. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
I'm
getting
fucking
my
with you,
coast
got you.
confused. I'm getting my coast confused because the West Coast is the one facing America and South America, right? Yeah, the West Coast of Africa. Well, the ones being sold on the West Coast of
Yeah.
Africa were not originally from that, that those areas. So they're going to sell or
You saying from
send off.
slavery? You saying from slavery?
Yeah, they're going
You're
to
right.
send
That's what
off
they're
the
saying,
people.
right?
They're going to send off the. No, I've heard this from an African too. They would send off. They would send off the people who are not from that area, the people who they had conquered and used
And
as
capture the
servants.
POVs, yeah, and shit like that.
Yeah.
Hey,
Now
Polo,
on the East Coast of Africa, that was some whole other shit.
Polo.
Yes.
I agree with you because I don't think that shit came from South.
Oh, fuck that, nigga. I'm a Tootsie, nigga, and I know all about African.
That shit did, and the way it could have came
Hey,
from
look,
South.
I'm just saying,
And then
for
something else
religion
that we
wise,
gotta be careful with as Black people is we gotta be careful with this whole reparations thing.
see, why every time I come outside, you start a whole new shit. God damn, what is
Hey, Polo, like I tell my bro, like fuck reparation, just free the credit. Give us a free
No,
credit
hold
slate.
on.
Bro, that
On
goes back
them.
to the whole
back
identity
up,
shit.
man?
They
We've
not
been talking
giving
about
nobody
reparation,
no
nigga.
shit that don't exist. Like we
Hey,
don't
Hold
exist,
on.
bro. We
The
not
reason
getting
why
nothing.
the reason why I feel that way about reparations is because they would come after people who are descendants of slave owners, right? So what about the Black families who owned slaves?
This how you
They
know.
would
This how you know
they
this
would
nigga get started. Nigga know
they
all.
would
Hey,
technically
Polo,
owe
You know all the
reparations,
subject.
wouldn't
You
they?
know all the subject.
hold on,
Yeah, yeah.
Elvis. Have y'all ever heard of? Have you ever heard of NFAC?
The NFAC?
Yeah.
Not that I can think of.
Ellis, have you?
No.
All right. Well, I mean, I can't speak no further or whatever. Like I can't speak no further.
Go ahead, talk about it. Enlighten
I
me.
can't. No, I
Oh
can't. I
no,
mean,
that's
I want you just
what
to
it
research
is.
it
That's
yourself. I don't want to have no influence on anything, man. Just look
No,
into it,
just give
man.
me a summary, and I can
Of
just look it
what
up
you
for
of
myself.
what you're saying, there's an individual that's of what you're saying. There's an individual that's fighting to do it
man, but
for the
why you
race.
down here?
It's that simple. It's
Oh,
that
It's not that
simple.
simple.
No, what I'm telling you is that it's that simple of getting reparations, of fighting uh for fighting for a common cause of a group of people for liberation, to get the reparations
I
by
think reparations
legally
is
by the
bullshit.
book, legally by the book. No, what I'm telling you, see, that's what I'm saying. What I'm telling you though is legally by the book. It's not about like what a motherfucker is. What excuse my French. What a person is like wanting to do, trying to do. There's a person that's trying to do it by the book to make it happen.
Oh, okay,
Oh
okay,
yes, yes,
okay. I see what
yes,
you're saying. There's
yes,
an
I'm just jumping back
organization.
in though. The NFC ain't that old boy in them? Ash.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
It's a legal organization that is trying to push for a continuation of talks on reparations.
Yeah, and
And
they
what has happened though is that the
they
government, the
hold.
feds, have already stepped down and put charges against this man. They
Yeah,
put 4 charges against him. Recently, he's been freed. 3 of the 4. He still got 1 pending, and it's all bullshit.
was on a plane supposed to come get Trump. Remember that shit?
Okay.
Just look into
Well,
it.
even then with that, wouldn't there still be Black people who owe reparations
Yeah, yeah.
You said
Of
black
course.
people that owe.
Facts.
that would
Yeah, that's
owe
fact.
reparations?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fact.
facts.
Oh,
That's fact.
Facts.
you saying? Oh,
There
so
were
you
there were
talking
black people
about?
that
So
owned
wait, hold on,
double
hold on, hold
slaves.
on,
There
hold on,
were
hold on,
black
hold
people that
on.
owned
So
slaves.
we're talking about black people that were stripped of majority of the land that they own as a mass,
No, black
they're
people
gonna
that own
owe.
No, no,
slaves.
no, no,
Black
no,
They're gonna
no.
people
owe.
that own
They're
slaves.
gonna
Because I
owe.
know what
I'm
I
talking about
know. Right.
masses. I'm talking
Matter of
about
fact,
masses. I mean, if we're talking about individually, then maybe 12. You know what I'm saying? A bloodline or some sort. Okay, okay, that yes, that's a possibility that happened. I'm not disagreeing. But I'm talking about mass, a majority. We are all one
But bro,
in
we
this
are not
country.
one
In
right
this
now.
country. In this country.
No,
As
we're
a
not
race.
one right now
I'm
at this country because we have too many different mindsets and too many different opinions. We don't have this. We don't share the same opinion. The only shared opinion that we have is that we're black.
and guess what? And guess what? This black race will be
hold
extinct
on,
very soon.
bro,
It will be
bro.
because we
Exactly.
can't get on board because
So
we have so many
exactly.
problems
So are
and
we
we
not
have
gonna
so
fight
many
for that
different
though?
solutions for. I think. Hold on. We're
You're not
talking
willing
about
to
the
fight for
problems.
your race? Look at the
We're
white
talking
man.
about the
Look at
problem.
the Asian race. They fight for theirs. You're
And
not
the
willing to fight for
Asians don't
yours. You
vote.
fought for the
Asians don't
military, but you're
vote.
not willing to fight for your race?
They got beat up for
Hold
that.
on, hold on now.
They
I
got
never said that. I never said that.
No, I'm
I never.
asking. I'm asking. I know. I'm asking.
I'm willing to fight for what's right. And right now we're talking about issues. We're not talking about solutions. I want to talk about solutions. I want to talk about
No,
something that's tangible.
hold on. First, that's the problem right there, right? We have to establish the issue to get to the solution.
Well, we already know what the issue is.
We
No, we
We
know
went
what the
don't.
through it.
issues.
No, we don't. And I'm gonna
Because
tell you why.
there's a plethora of issues.
Right.
I'm
So it
gonna
just
tell you
depends.
why.
Like Slick said, it just depends on what's your highest issue.
I'm
Like
finna tell
it's
you why right
systemic,
now.
you know what I'm saying? The
That's
biggest issue,
why
you feel me?
I originally posed the question: is systemic racism the biggest problem for
Yeah,
us?
because it
Hold
just
on, but
depends on what's
systemic
your biggest
racism is
issue.
different. What y'all was just talking about. Hold
No, I'm
on,
Yeah.
saying is your whatever your biggest issue is gonna be your biggest focus.
hold on,
You feel me?
exactly. Hold on.
That makes
When you
sense,
bring up Asians, when
Elias.
you bring
That
up
makes
every
sense.
other race,
One of your biggest focus. Yeah,
hold on, whatever you then that's what he said was a fact. But that's the
real shit.
problem. We are too busy intertwining things like what Polo J said. It's too many issues and nobody knows what to focus on.
Right.
The focus
Exactly.
is this. When you say Asians fought for theirs, nigga, they don't even fucking vote. They don't give a fuck. Chinese, all of them, they get their piece of the pie. You're not finna tell me you don't see that one Indian own a fucking liquor store. You're not finna tell me you don't see none of them motherfuckers own shit, right? So at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you something. Biden first day in office, he signed an executive order for transgender. Did he not?
You did.
All right. Just
That's more.
recently, under the COVID-19 Act, he signed an executive order for the Asians.
Yep.
Did he not?
He
But he
did.
got on the radio and told you if you didn't vote for him, you wasn't black. So what the fuck that tells you? He also said when
Manipulation.
he was asked the question, why didn't y'all do nothing for black folks when you was in office with Obama? He said we didn't have enough time, which means we was last on the agenda. Now, mind you, that
Exactly.
right there, what I just said was the past. Now he's in office. He done stuff more shit for transgender and Asians than he has done for black folks and black and brown people ever. You understand what I'm
Exactly.
saying? We will never be in the forefront of the totem pole. So this is why we are all in a disarray because black folks is always too busy putting their faith in another motherfucker instead of ourselves.
Right.
Hey, but guess what? But guess what though? We are the spirit of this goddamn universe.
Well,
We
guess what?
can't
Until we
that
truly
down.
believe that, shit
You
gonna
got
be the
many that
way
do
it
believe it.
is.
You got many
Right.
that
I
do
mean,
believe it.
bro, the whole shit
And
with
guess
GMT,
what?
bro.
How
That
how
shit could
how
have
the
been
powers to be create all this is through their thoughts,
It's
their
through
words.
thoughts. It's
That's how
Explain.
through
they create
thoughts
it.
and
But guess what?
planning.
Guess what though? But what
It's
happens
through
when the
thoughts and
majority
planning.
create?
And
But what
and
happens when the majority controls that powers and those words and those thoughts?
and then you looking at another war. Do
It's
you truly hold on,
yes,
bro?
then
yes,
that's
Hold on,
what he
hold on,
yes,
hold on,
just
hold on.
said.
exactly,
You putting
exactly.
Do
your
you
faith
You
in
said
you
it,
somebody.
looking at
bro.
another
You
war?
said it. You're looking at another war. You
Do
said
you
it.
not
You said it.
believe that if we get
You
another
said it.
Wall Street going, which we know will be 10 times bigger than what it was. And for all my people that's still around, 4 people that's in here, and the people that's gonna watch it, rewatch this shit, just know this: Black Wall Street wasn't just in Oklahoma, motherfucker. It was in East St. Louis. It was in Chicago.
Everywhere.
It was
Throughout the
everywhere. You understand
nation.
me? We didn't have to depend on nobody because we had our own network. It was
Tragedy
always in
doesn't get talked
California.
about.
So think about if we get it going again, how much bigger it would be.
Right.
Do you not think? Now, they're already at war with fucking Bitcoin. They trying to stop the owner of Bitcoin from proving proof. Do y'all know that? He just came out, what was it, day before yesterday? I am the creator of Bitcoin and I have fucking proof. These motherfuckers trying to put him to shame. They talking all shit about this motherfucker. You know why? Because that means another motherfucker succeeded creating a whole nother currency like Ice Cube was talking about 1998.
Right.
So
And they don't want
talking
him
about-
to own that.
So
yet.
they're trying to. So basically, they're trying to do him like they did Omar Gaddafi.
Yeah, they trying to discredit him.
Period. When he wanted to pay for everything in gold.
Yeah, they want to
Exactly.
discredit him. Yep.
So
They
that's
want to
why we will
discredit
never
him.
return
Because
to
if
the
we
gold
get our
standard.
own currency, bro, just think.
So that's
Just
the only
think. If we
propaganda
come up
that
with our
exists.
own currency and believe in it, because see, currency is based off belief. You believe that that green back in your pocket can get you what you want, right? Say if we start printing our own money on printers in our household and we spread it out and we say this is what you're gonna need to buy from my store from now on. Right? You think they gonna be all right with that? They dollar not circulating, they not getting no taxes off of it. Right?
Right. No, that's
Right?
real. That's real.
Huh? Because if you do your research on Bitcoin, like I said, all the way back to the movie Dope, nigga, they showed you what it was for. It was for backdooring. It was for the dark web. Wasn't no
Yep.
taxes being paid
That
on
way you
fucking
can buy shit
Bitcoin.
off the dark
It was a
web
bunch of
without being
hackers
traced.
that had belief in another whole nother currency.
Yeah,
The
so that way
problem
you can
with-
be traced
hold
off
on.
buying shit off the dark web.
Now, here's the biggest issue. The problem with Bitcoin, the reason why they have such a problem with it is because it's not backed by the Federal Reserve.
There you go. No
Exactly.
taxes.
Exactly.
That's what
the
I'm
problem. That's what he
saying.
said. That's why
Hold
they trying to
on.
discredit him.
I can make a dollar bill with your emblem on it right now, bro, and get people to believe in it. And I say, hey, you spend this $20 a polo, nigga, they get you a 30 set. Nigga, you think they not gonna spend that money that fake money I just gave them to you to get a 30 set? All right then.
Yeah.
So currency is based on the principle of belief. You
That's
create
all-
another
that's all money
currency.
is.
You create another currency. You lose belief in who? The American dream. You're not gonna get.
Damn.
They're not gonna let that happen, bruh. Ice Cube
Hey,
been
y'all
talking
see the
about this since
airplane?
1997 and 98. He had a whole interview
Hey, y'all
about
hear the
it.
airplane?
He said
Damn, y'all just hear that chat?
he said the black people will not be free until we have our own fucking currency, and he wasn't bullshitting.
I know this is off topic, but it goes into this also. Have any of y'all ever watched the miniseries Adams about John Quincy Adams or John Adams?
Mm-mm.
Well, do you know how this country became relevant by occurring debt?
Yeah.
So if you don't have debt, you can't be considered a legitimate country.
Now you let them have the fucking dead nigga with the states we run. Think about it, South Cape, the Midwest, them all through the quote unquote Midwest. I'm gonna say it like that. It's predominantly what black cities.
Mm-hmm.
Am I lying?
No,
Predominantly
and
black
production
cities. The
cities.
whites in those,
Like
the
here in
whites in those
KC.
states, the whites in Missouri are actually the minority.
Majority of them.
Yeah, but just like we got a
Majority.
lot of production in all of our states.
Okay.
Like here, we got
Hold
a
on,
lot of
hold on.
forest that
I'm
Used
finna put the
to,
cap.
used to,
Alias,
used to.
alias.
That
I'm
shit is
finna put the icing on the cake. Just yesterday, they
It's not
voted
St.
for
Louis.
Washington D.C. to be its own state, and it passed. Did it not? And now I gotta go to the Senate, and once it passed the Senate,
No,
Washington
no,
D.C.
it
What
was
is it?
supposed to be part of
Washington,
Maryland,
wow.
part of Maryland, which
part
it
of
should be
Maryland.
part of Maryland. But
What?
it's
They
What?
saying they're gonna
What?
make it its own state.
Is
There's
Maryland
gonna be
not on the
51
border
states
though?
now.
They're saying they're gonna make D.C. its own state.
There's gonna be 51 states now.
really.
So
Yeah.
if you could do that, why the fuck we can't take over Missouri,
Oh,
Chicago,
I need to
Detroit,
Right.
I need to go
Illinois?
wake my wife
Why the
up and
fuck we
tell her
can't take over
that.
East St. Louis? Why the fuck we can't take over all these Memphis, all these damn black? See, they don't want
Mm-hmm.
you to understand that side of it. Why you think we ain't getting no executive order? You know what the
Right.
executive order give
Damn.
black folks? Power. We don't need
Yeah.
no power. They're not gonna give us
Like a
no power.
like a
And
powerful airplane.
hold on, exactly, dude. Do you know right now? You hit an Asian, goddamn. You know what years you can get now? It's like hitting a fag. I'm sorry for saying that word, but that's what it's like hitting it.
Yeah, you getting 5 off top.
All right, that's what it's like hitting a transgender motherfucker. You getting
You
fucked
getting
up
5.
over hitting another man that's a straight up man. He's not a female. He's not nothing. You gonna get a whole domestic case over that.
Damn.
With
I didn't know that.
a slice of terrorism on top. What the
What the
fuck is
fuck?
that?
Yeah, because it's considered a hate crime.
Exactly.
Wow.
So now,
Wow.
again,
Yeah.
when they talk about us black
Times have
folks and people don't
changed,
believe
but
in
I already knew
racism,
that.
that's racist all in itself. We've been persecuted for 400 years. Nigga, the 60s ain't too far ago.
Right.
And not one executive
Right.
order has ever been written into history for black folks. They just got rid of slavery in Memphis, goddamn me. What was it, 2 weeks
Damn,
ago?
bro.
3 weeks ago?
3 weeks.
Damn, so you know this shit, Polo.
And the president couldn't
You know
write an
this.
executive order. He let them niggas actually vote on it, my nigga, and let it go to the news. He
Damn.
couldn't write an executive order and say,
Yeah, and you know this, Polo?
Hey, I'm not oblivious to the things that are going on.
so this
It's
is systemic racism at its finest,
Right.
bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and you know
No,
this,
no, no, no,
Polo?
no, no, no,
Like,
no,
you're-
no, no. I know these things. I just raised a question.
Right. No, I'm not trying to shove this down your
No,
throat.
you talking about me,
talk all
bro.
the time,
No, bro,
Polo.
you talking about me. No, bro, you talking about me.
Yeah,
You talking about me. You
I
talking
just
about me,
raised
bro.
the
Nah, he
question.
just wanted to know
Right.
everybody's opinion on it.
Right.
Yeah,
I just
because
raised the question for a healthy
these-
discussion.
Yeah, no,
This
you
is
right.
the stuff
You
that,
right.
that bothers me because, like
You
you
right.
said, and it goes. But the reason I'm saying all of this is to say what Elliot said. The reason we can't get it on one accord is because too many issues out there. You got to start at one and line them up, which is what
And
they
that's
do.
where all of us differ, because I have this firm belief that before we can cut our grass, our living room need to be clean.
That's true.
Right. But how can we get there though, Polo?
We have
I got
to-
a perfect way how to get there.
What's up?
The perfect motherfucking way to get there is each one teach one. Quit letting this fucking
Right.
damn boob tube. It's like what Polo B and Polo say. It start at home. Teach
But-
your people
but
to have value in each other and everything else. But guess what? We are taught to be in disarray from the beginning. They knew if you took the black man out the household, what kind of controversy was gonna cause.
But like, haven't we
That's what I
realized that shit
said.
ain't
It was built
working?
by design. It was built by
haven't-
design.
Yeah, it was.
Meaning like
What?
back in the 80s, they knew that giving us more jail time for hard than charging more
That was
jail
the
time for
90s.
soft. Yeah, that was. I mean, as far as like, you know what I'm saying, the setup.
And that was
it the
Joe
90s.
Biden.
Yeah, but like,
And it
them
was Joe
doing that, they
Biden,
knew-
right? There you go.
Yeah, them doing that, they was already trying to take the black man out the home. That's why they did
Right,
that.
right.
So that way they
Another
could get all
another
the
thing,
I mean,
parts
it's
back.
and
been
hold
way
on,
before
an
that, though.
opportunity. Hold on, here's the opportunity to restore it. Why he ain't wrote an executive order to get everybody out for non-violent offenses? That's legal now, like such
Man.
as weed.
Yeah, but how
Man.
quick they gonna get out though?
How
No,
come
you're not
people
hearing
still sitting
me.
in jail over weed
Executive
charges
order,
and
get your
doing
ass
that?
out that day or the next day. Why hasn't he done that? And that's
Right.
not just for black people. That'd be for white, black, but it would help the black community,
Right,
would
right,
it not?
right.
Because
Right.
look, there's
No,
no
what I'm saying, no, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, how quick these motherfuckers gonna get out though? Like, shit ain't happening.
this brings me to my point. It's with that stuff, it's all about classism. What use is it? Because like I always tell Slick, poor no poor. What use is it releasing poor black men, poor Latino men, and poor white men? What is that going to give you?
Back into a
That's gonna
pandemic
get-
where it's already
We
a
can't
poor
look at it that
community
way. We gotta-
for environment.
We can't look at it
Well-
that way. We gotta look at it as a person being able to grow in society. We can't look
But
at it
right
as
now,
a, as a,
society
as
But
a
that
for
sounds
itself.
good. That sounds
Society
good.
for
No, it's
That-
not. It's not about sounding good. It's about a person just getting the opportunity. Like I've been down and out in my life before, and I've gotten opportunities. Just
Look,
2 weeks ago, I got opportunity in my life. Like you can't
that's
look at it
True.
as that.
okay. That's fine, but that's how it should be. I'm gonna tell you how it is.
It's not should. That's reality though. It's a
No, that's
hit or
not
miss.
everybody's reality
It's a
though.
hit or
That's
That's
miss.
not
not
It's a hit or
everybody.
everybody's
miss.
reality.
Exactly. It's a hit or
Okay,
miss. You don't think I've been through
like
shit in my
okay,
life? Come on now.
okay, if we're going to talk about that, then we have to go to our personal realities. Then that's a personal thing. That's a personal
Right. But
thing.
does that still make it right though? That's the whole basis around
All right, right or
it. It
wrong.
all it
And then
all
that goes
leads back. It
into
all
It
leads
all
how it
back
boils
to
down
should
to
be
right or
right or
and what it
wrong.
wrong.
is. Because what it is if you start releasing the poor of us, the least of us, or whatever,
Uh-huh.
we have an army. Because there's plenty of people may not believe
That's
it, but
my point.
there's
That's
plenty
my
of white
point.
people who can relate with us. There's
Exactly. That's
plenty of
my hey,
Latino that can relate
Paulo.
with,
That's my point. Why you think he's not going to do it?
and that's what I'm saying. There's a thing of what should happen, but then there's a reality of what's not going to happen.
Right, because you know what the political go say. They go say, "Oh, it's already a pandemic in the poor
The
community, the poor
political is
society.
bum
Why we
dumb.
want to release these people and already make it worse? Where it's already leasing
I,
jobs and employment,
I'm on a
so on and so
campaign,
forth."
Polo and Alias.
Mhm.
Well, Polo know this. My campaign is this: I never vote for a motherfucker if you're not independent. Because how the fuck you gonna be Democrat or how the fuck you gonna be Republican, and you supposed to be for the people? You can't be for half the people. You
And
understand?
Slick
Republicans are
already
going to
knows
go
my.
for Republicans. Democrats are going to go for Democrats. How the fuck am I going to vote for you? And your discussion is on how many Republicans you got in the fucking Senate to vote for you. That's bullshit. The government is supposed to be for who?
The
The
people.
people.
Hmm.
So I could
Yeah.
never vote for a Democrat or a motherfucking goddamn me a Republican. Even
Well,
though
I've
my
never
favorite
voted
cat
for.
is a Republican, but I mean Frederick Douglass, but at his time it wasn't like now.
I'll never vote for a fucking
Right.
Democrat as long as I live.
But we're
I never
fighting.
vote for either one because
So we're
they
fighting
all
in a
long as you
place
go long as you siding
where
with
we
half
didn't
the people, you
originate.
telling me you have a hidden agenda.
Well, I vote, and I told Slick this. I vote for whoever supports my interests. But if you're a Democrat, I still can't support you. I just won't vote.
See, that's what I'm saying, and that's how it's fucked up. That's why I say it needs to be more independence
Hey
on the
Polo, like you
fucking
say
voter
that.
bracket, bro.
Hey Polo, like you
It
say
just
that.
needs to be.
Hmm.
Right, but
I've
you
never
Slick, the reason
voted
why it's not more
a day in
independent
my
is
life,
because they can't get big
and I
funding.
never will. Not in America.
You know
Like
why they
why
can't
would
get?
I
You know
vote?
why they
Why would
can't
I
get
vote?
independent, more big funding for the independents? I'm sorry, I hear you, bro. But
Because
Aiden
they don't
said,
have the same agenda as everybody else.
but if niggas was smart, they'd vote for them.
Yeah, exactly. We'll put independent money behind the independent representative.
Yo, it was a guy,
Hey,
dude. It was a guy named Bernie Sanders
he said
that would have
Bernie
flip flopped so quick, and I'm be the first. Motherfuckers scared of taxes, but I'm scared of taxes when you don't know where to go. That's the biggest gripe we got, right? We don't know where our tax money go. But wouldn't you like to know that your
exactly.
tax money be going into your health care where you ain't got to pay another health care bill? And they call that socialism when socialism already fucking exists in America.
Hold on, Slick.
It does.
Hold on.
Oh, so now we get into the technicality of terminology.
Hold
Socialism
That's
on.
already fucking
America. That's
exists here.
America. Sounds like America.
You won't. You know what I just
Sounds like
went through.
America.
You know exactly what I went through over the past week or so.
Yeah.
Do you really want government funded and government health care?
I feel like no, not test stamps. There's a difference. I don't want state. Okay, state healthcare sucks. But if you pay your doctors top notch, you won't have to worry about them not giving a fuck about you.
Mine's isn't state. Mine's is federal.
Yours is federal, but he not getting paid enough.
And you
Look at the
ex-military.
VA. Hold on. Look at the VA. I told you myself. VA should be first amongst anybody. Didn't I say that?
Fact.
Yes, you did.
So why the fuck? You know why they not first amongst anybody? They're not getting paid enough. They getting paid federal, but they getting paid like they owned by the state.
Facts. Facts.
Cause I could tell y'all, Slick No, I almost fucking died.
Now keep it a band, bro, because it ain't no reason why military hospitals should be running out of any type of
Man,
equipment,
nigga,
bro.
that should be automatic, bro.
Nigga, I
None.
almost died. What was it, last Monday?
Yeah.
I almost died, y'all. I almost died because I went to the VA with chest pains and everything like that, high blood pressure, all this shit.
Yep.
And they told me there was nothing they could do for me. And I passed out in the lobby, and my wife took me to KU. Turns out my appendix had sprung a leak,
Damn.
and it was close to rupturing.
And
Bro,
it's
that's
the
a
fucking
lawsuit.
VA, bro.
That's a lawsuit right there, bro.
And that's the VA.
That's
Like
a
that's what
lawsuit.
I'm
And you
saying.
military,
But if you go
exactly,
look,
bro.
but if you go look at Canada's record. These niggas, doctors getting paid, nigga, $20-something
Hell yeah.
an hour.
That's why
They
they
don't
healthcare
mind
free
being at
just for
work.
being a citizen.
You know,
Just for being a
or would you
citizen.
rather live in a state of where a doctor has to leave a $1 billion hospital to create something called a practice?
I
You
prefer
want to
the
be
private practice.
you want to be but see, that's the thing. People this though. So you want to be practiced on?
Doctors are constantly in school until they're about 60 years old.
You're not listening
So
to me though. Would you want somebody gonna take you seriously, or say, "Well, this is a practice"? Would you like to have that one-on-one experience because he know he getting paid top dollar and he willing to see everybody, anybody, or a doctor who is overwhelmed and ain't getting paid much because he got hope the billing pays, the state pays, or the government pays, or which one would you want?
mm,
Which one would suit you to think that he would take care of you? Would it be the one who's getting paid to actually do his job? Or would it be the one who's overwhelmed and ain't getting half his money, then the government threatening to take away, quote unquote, his practice?
I would this may sound weird, but I would rather have the practice because he would know me personally.
Man, the only
I wouldn't
practices,
wouldn't
but
be
he
I just
would
wouldn't
see
be a
how you
name
say
in a
that.
file cabinet.
That's a hope and a wish though, because there are practices that you know are overwhelmed, right? There are PCPs that are overwhelmed. Am I lying?
No, you're not lying.
All
You're not
right,
lying.
so
I'm not
it's no
discrediting
different.
anything that you're
So if
saying.
you got a PCP that's overwhelmed, that's no different than walking to the free clinic.
But
Shit,
no,
let's
I
be
get
honest.
say
Most of these
He
Polo.
has
I
to.
hospitals
do
are the
see
free
Polo's
clinic.
point though, because
I
like
do see his point,
elsewhere,
but what I'm
Slow
saying
Park,
is, if you got an overall, doctors getting paid can open their own clinics, and clinics open them without having to go through this and the third. Do you know how many more doctors we would have?
no,
Do you know
I
only
understand that.
4% of doctors is made up of black folks? Do you understand that? But then you got these hospitals making billions.
Right.
But that speaks
But
to
big
a
game
bigger
on this. Check the
problem.
game on this though, Slick. We got a place here called Slow Park, you know what I'm saying? Slow Park Healthcare Center. You
Uh,
feel me? They do better fucking care, you know what I'm saying, than the fucking hospital at Truman Medical do. You feel me? Like
uh,
Slow Park, they do better fucking work with people than fucking Truman Medical do. And that's a, you know what I'm saying, like what you would say, a state funded free health clinic type joint that's overwhelmed and shit. But I fuck with Slow Park. Like I ain't
but
ever, you
that's
know what I'm
people.
saying?
But it also goes to people who are, for instance, like being a first time rapper. Nigga, you hungry? Your first album always be better than the rest of your albums in
Yeah,
your
no,
career.
real talk, real talk. You know what I'm
Them
saying?
But
people trying
Truman
to
is
get
a
from up out of
community
there,
hospital.
right? But they trying to get up out of there. Don't hesitate. If they can get in a position in the big hospital, make more money. They ain't gonna go.
Yeah, but Truman, where they actually making bread, these are the places where motherfuckers is dying going in for the simplest shit because they fucking up. Like
Right.
literally
Yes.
fucking up.
I mean, but
We
but the more dead people, the more sick people come in, that it's not the more bread they make. They still getting the same rate
see
of pay.
we got
No, I'm
this
talking about
thing
as far as
here,
lawsuits, like
Oh,
motherfuckers coming in with an
lawsuits.
ankle
wrongful
injury or
death
something and they
lawsuit.
fucking up and they accidentally killed somebody and shit.
Yeah,
I'm just
we
saying, I'm for teachers getting paid. I'm for doctors getting paid. I would like to have the insurance that he's not picking and choosing. Like
Yeah.
Polo said, he went in there. They didn't even bother to fucking check the symptoms to see, okay, maybe it's this, or maybe it's this, or maybe it's this. They didn't bother to do that, but he went to $1 billion hospital that makes a lot of fucking money, and they took the time to see what was wrong with him.
Are
You
you
get
now?
what I'm saying?
KU is one of the biggest fucking hospitals ever, bro.
I don't
KU
need
is in the
motherfuckers picking and choosing because I'm black. Oh no,
No,
you just got
that
a
wasn't.
cold. You just
Trust
got a
me, that was
cold,
not a
nigga.
black thing.
No,
Well,
that
It
was
either
a
was
black
way,
thing.
a
That was a
either
fun
way.
thing.
Okay, let's say it's not. But I still don't need a doctor because I come there with sneeze and my throat hurt, and he just tell me, "Oh, you got a cold. Take your ass some halls and not go home and fucking die because I had COVID." Versus another motherfucker you pick and choose and saved his life.
No, I
well.
understand what you're saying, though, Slick. I understand
I
what you're
know,
saying.
I understand what you're saying because we got a hospital here. What's the one? Research.
Yeah, on
Oh,
63rd.
oh my God. I know people who have been shot and they said the closest hospital is research. They say, no, take me home.
Damn.
Or take me to KU. Fuck that. Don't take me to Truman or research. Take me to KU or St. Luke's.
Yeah, what a
Yeah.
coincidence, huh?
Damn.
Man, what a
See, that's what
coincidence,
shit I'm
huh?
talking about. So like
What a
certain shit will
coincidence.
work out. It's just that they know certain money ain't gonna hit certain people's pockets,
And here's
and
the
that's
thing
all they
about,
gonna
I can
have.
tell you the thing about research. Research is in a predominantly white area.
Yup. That's the fucked up part. Yup. Because it's out there in Brookside.
Well, it's just
It's
like
in a
we said. Guess
predominantly,
what? Research is everywhere
Bro,
now. What we said yesterday? Goddamn, white think everybody getting them checks.
research
Everybody getting
study.
stimulus. Everybody getting stimulus because we are all part of a research study right now. How the fuck they passing out them things and they not the FDA approved?
Bro,
That's
I
what they
been
give
said
you at
that,
them. That's what
man.
they give your ass at them fucking places for
I
them
heard the bill.
experiments.
When y'all got that chip and shit already, don't say
So
that.
I'm just telling you, we was laughing about that shit. We was just laughing about that shit, but that shit seemed real to motherfucker. They
hey,
study passing out this
y'all
free
say
money,
skip that
but they
shit.
got 3 free shots out there that technically you volunteer for because niggas sure think they can sue, but you
Hey,
can't
guess
sue
what
Hey,
they
unless you
got?
Elvis.
Guess what
volunteering.
they got here, Slick? They got
Hey,
shot. They got shot for pot here now.
For
you said
who?
shot for pot for
Shot
weed?
for
Shot for
pot,
pot.
meaning they giving out a shot, you get free tree.
You said get free
Wow.
what?
And
You
you
get
wouldn't
free
believe how
Dead
many
ass
weed.
serious.
niggas
You
is.
get a free pre roll. You get a free pre roll. You get a shot.
Oh hell, that
It's
shit ain't
it,
worth
it's
it. Got me
infused
fucked up.
and it's infused with good oil and it's wrapped with
No.
keys. Nigga, they
Yeah, you
selling it
can't see
They
hard
that
on the
give
shit.
radio.
you, they give
They
you the
selling
top
it
shit.
hard
No,
on the
hell no.
radio.
See, that's
They
that
give
See,
you
that's
manipulative
an
shit,
insult.
dog. Like
That's
working
an
for
insult,
America.
bruh.
No,
And what people don't know about commercials,
no.
they're done by demographics. So that commercial ain't being broadcast everywhere.
Nah, it's only on
Welcome to
103
America.
for the urban
Yeah, what
community.
and I bet you that's the nigga radio
And that's
station, ain't
crazy.
it?
Yeah,
See,
yeah, of
103.
course. Where they play all the rap and
That's
hip,
how
yeah.
this St. Louis, 103.
Of course it is.
If that
103
shit called the
Channel.
beat,
See how
Elvis, it
fucked
called
up
the
that
beat.
is, bruh. It ain't on the white station Z107 no shit like that. No, that
Exactly.
shit on
Really?
103.
I haven't even heard that.
Yeah, nigga shot for pot, nigga. I'm like, man, nigga,
Shot for
I
pot.
haven't heard it on the radio, but I've heard about it, and I heard it's just the top
oh
shelf stuff
yeah,
that
bro.
the.
The white chick on the
Bro,
radio
you said you
hype,
ain't
like,
heard about it,
come
but you
on
heard
down,
about it.
get
What?
a shot, get some pot. You
No,
like
I haven't
what?
heard it on the radio or nothing because I don't listen to the radio.
No,
Bruh,
same
that shit
her.
fucked
For real,
up.
same her.
But
Same her.
I've heard it
Hey,
from
Ladies
earlier
and
word
in
of
the
mouth.
gentlemen,
chat, somebody was saying something,
nigga
and I was
said,
like, "What's that?" And I was like, "What's that?" And it was like, "Oh," they explained it. I was like, "Oh, it's all good, bro." But in my mind, I'm just like, I just don't
"Oh,
really fuck
sue
with the
me."
radio or
What?
social
Say
media
what?
shit
Said
like
sue
that.
me.
Hmm?
Huh?
Sue me. Say what? Said sue me.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah,
Brett talking
yeah,
about. That's what Brett, he said,
yeah,
man. If
yeah,
y'all don't
yeah,
like it, then sue me.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
like
yeah. That dude,
that's
that
a different
dude.
term than like white folk be saying. But like, goddamn me, I think say what's Spanish though. But
I was
that
confused. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, man, I don't understand that lingo, dog. I was so confused. I was like, man, you
the
don't
first
do
time
this
I
shit,
heard that
bro.
I
term was on Dr. Dre 2001. Um, was a song here Eminem. He was like, if you
Yeah,
niggas
man.
don't like me, then sue me.
Sue
Y'all
me.
gonna make
Right,
me
right,
revert.
right,
Y'all gonna make me revert back to the old me.
right.
Whoop,
Oh,
and had
me.
Eminem on there. Nowadays, everybody forget about Drake. That song, forget
But
about Drake. That was the
but
first
when
time I
did we
heard
start
that.
using
What
that
it meant.
shit? But when did we use? When have we used that terminology in that
Not out
sense
this
though?
way.
From
Not
that
out this way.
time,
We don't say that though.
you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, what the
But
fuck?
he
I was
not from here
confused.
though. He might not be from here.
That's what I thought too. That's what I was thinking too. I was like, maybe from the West or something. Like, not West. I wasn't thinking that, but I was like, he ain't from St. Louis.
Yeah,
to
if you
say
don't
some
like,
shit
because
like
he said
that.
if you don't like it, sue
That's not
me.
our lingo. That's not our
Yeah, that
lingo.
shit was funny.
I really gotta tell my wife that shit because she gonna be pissed
What?
What's up, Paulo?
about Washington D.C. be
Yeah, they
getting
trying to make it
statehood
a whole own state,
Hey, Polo, I
because
ain't know that shit, and when
and the
it was new
Republicans
to
doing
you, I
that
was like,
because it's gonna
damn.
raise, it's gonna benefit them.
Yeah, I was
no,
just about to say that, bro. You know, with them being their own state, now they can govern their own state
Right?
literally.
It's gonna benefit
Uh,
them.
that's
You know what
gonna
I'm
piss my
saying? For the
wife off because
electoral,
it's gonna
that
piss
put
my
two
wife
more
off because her
electoral votes
people
on
is
the
from
map.
Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico been petitioning to become a state forever.
Yeah, that's a fuck. They don't want that, nigga. That's a
They're not
nation
gonna
of
let
color,
nah, they're
nigga.
not gonna let that
Polo,
happen.
understand this propaganda bullshit with America, man. They ain't
Ain't
trying to
no
run no
nation of
parade or
color.
no.
That is not gonna
Nah, it's the
happen, bro.
government trying to have more
There's
control of
more
the
things that
government.
we can understand as a person that's going on, and that's just the truth,
If they
you
gave
know.
Puerto Rico the right fucking money, nigga, that would be one of the biggest tourist attractions ever.
Do you feel me, bro? You know how
They're
much money
not
that
gonna
would
do it.
generate?
They're not
Uh,
gonna do it.
That would generate
Coral
stupid
reefs,
amounts of money, bro.
coral reefs and shit. Put some hotels on them motherfucking
It's
beach
a fact,
lines.
bro. Everybody be investing in it. Goddamn, it's a nation of color which they don't want to
Uh,
uprise. Goddamn me, and
I'm-
they stop them from is it term being a sovereign state? They stopped them
Hmm
from that, man. They
hey,
knew that.
Hey, can I say something to y'all? Like Polo, cause y'all from KC. I don't know what y'all got going on in y'all city, but St. Louis is becoming a tourist attraction like a motherfucker. It's downtown. It's just crazy. Like how
It's
y'all
a
down? What
building
y'all
and shit up.
downtown doing? Like what y'all downtown doing? Like
We
we got
almost
a
had
soccer team,
Oklahoma
a soccer
City Thunder.
stadium.
We
You
almost
said
got
what's up?
OKC. Before OKC went to fucking Oklahoma, we almost had them here.
We almost had the Thunder. Yeah.
Damn,
Damn.
They was about to play at the Sprint Center.
nigga, that
See,
shit
we
would have been
took
so hard, nigga. If y'all
and
would
we
have
took
got
that
that, that would
attract
have been
and
our
we took
team
that
too.
attraction as Missouri as like Missouri cities. St. Louis took that attraction from y'all because we got an MLS soccer team coming here.
We got an
We got
MLS.
no.
We
We have
been
a
having an
MLS.
MLS, bro. Our
We have
MLS
a
team,
winning
Yeah, y'all
MLS
said y'all had
we
a.
team.
didn't win a
Y'all said
championship
y'all had an
twice.
aquarium. Y'all said
We
y'all
done
had
won
a.
the championship twice, bro. Our
Y'all said you
MLS
had a
team.
saltwater aquarium.
The only thing we don't have is just like that, like Six Flags and
I mean, we
SeaWorld
got Worlds of
Aquarium or
Fun
something.
shit.
Right,
We
right.
got
So they
World.
got rid of that. Worlds of Fun.
No, we still got
No, they
Worlds of
didn't get
Fun.
rid. We still good. See, you got Kansas City is a foodie town. You come here for food.
Barbecue.
You know it for
That's
different
St.
Not
Louis.
flavors
no
of food and
barbecue.
stuff.
Right,
Not
it's,
no
it's
barbecue.
Midwest. St. Louis the same way, you know.
Because we, for some
Y'all got
reason,
Chinamen out there?
Yeah, of
You said
course.
yeah.
what? You said what,
I
bro?
asked, do they have Chinamen out there?
Of
Yeah, bro,
course.
it's the Midwest. Not for us the same way. Like how they say they got food, like they built on food. Like, bro, we are built on some bullshit ass food by accident. Raviolis, funnel cakes,
Fried
like,
raviolis.
Yeah, fried
like we
ravioli.
are built on some bullshit. Some fucking corn
I want
dogs.
to know.
We are built on some bullshit as by accident foods.
I just got. This is my only problem with St. Louis. Okay,
Uh-oh.
something we've been doing for years, decades, basically a fucking century. Y'all get credit for it. Y'all got credit for it, and it's a cut of meat, and
Hey,
it's
Elliot
and it's
knows it because he
Hello?
laughed.
and it just has y'all name. What the fuck is a St. Louis style rib? A
I
St.
don't
Louis
know.
slab.
You're right. Yeah, no, I
But
don't know.
that
I
shit
don't
has
know.
I'm on the
been
I don't know.
you right next to the bathroom.
that
I
shit has
don't
been
know.
going on here in Kansas City
Hello?
forever. Like, do you not know
Hey,
the
bro, you hear
American
Paulo?
Royal?
Bro, you hear
Look,
Paulo?
look, and check this out. Something else. I got a problem with New York too.
I don't know if my bro heard you though. Tell him the
No, I didn't
original
hear him. I was
shit.
on the phone. My bad.
Yeah, he didn't hear you,
A
Paulo.
St. Louis style ribs.
Huh?
NKC.
St. Louis style rib. A St. Louis cut of ribs.
Uh-huh.
That's the shit that we've been doing here for over 100 years.
But it started here though.
No,
But
it
bro, what is
didn't.
the St. Louis? Bro, what is the St. Louis real?
No, it's not. It's the cut of the rib. It's a cut of
No,
a short rib.
it's
With the
just the
short rib?
rib
Are we
tips.
talking about the short
It's
rib?
just
No,
the
We talking
it's
about
rib
the
not.
short
tips
It's an
cut
rib?
off.
actual cut.
Right, the rib
If you
tips
go
of the
get for real,
short
hold
rib.
on, hold on, hold on. Go get a
The
whole
rib tips of the
slab of
short
pork
rib.
ribs. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you.
And you
Yeah,
cut
Go
go
the
get
get a
the
top
short rib.
and you
whole
cut off the
slab. No,
rib
go.
tips and
There
shit
you
and the
go.
silver skin.
There you go. Go
That's
get a
what we've
whole
been doing
cut.
here for Kansas
So
City
hold on,
for
hold on. No, no,
decades.
no, 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 no. I learned this well a long time ago from my big daddy.
Let's hear
Look,
it. Let's hear it. Let's
go
hear it.
get you a whole slab of pork ribs, right? And then go get a St. Louis cut. It's the cut, not St. Louis ribs. Niggas just get short with the title. It's the St. Louis cut. The whole top of the slab where the motherfucking gristle at, that's gone. The motherfucking
That,
flap gone, and the silver skin,
bro,
you gotta pull it off. That's a St.
bro.
Louis cut.
Hey,
That's what
man.
we've
Hey,
been doing forever.
hey,
Now, that's
nigga.
why it's
Hold on,
called
hold
St.
on,
Louis cut.
hold on. Hold on. We've been doing that for over 100 goddamn years. That's why we have rib tips here. We sell rib tips separate.
But that's not
That's
just
what
the rib tips, though. That's what I'm saying, though. Like the
I
rib tips
know. And
actually
then
at the bottom half of the ribs, not the top.
we trim
Oh,
the whole thing, and that's how we get rib
no.
tips and we get burnt
Hey,
ends.
Paula. No, okay, I get it now. You
The
know, bro,
top half
like
of the ribs
we
is a
get the whole
flap.
goddamn, we get
I
the whole
know.
goddamn shit
Right,
And
when
that's
we
what I'm
we
smoke
saying. If you
that
take the
stuff
whole
separate.
rib, the bottom
Yeah,
half of
we
the
cut
rib is
into
the
those
rib tips. The
sections.
top is that flap
Right.
that come off.
yes,
Yeah.
and that's what we barbecue separate to get our
Right, we
burnt
do all of
ends.
that separate. But what I'm saying is,
All right,
when we
so
get
you know
done
what?
with the
Show
St. Louis
love, baby.
ribs, with the St. Louis cut, look with the St. Louis cut end up looking like a set of baby back ribs when it's not baby back ribs. So
That's how we do
that's how
our
small
ribs.
they end up. I'm
Hey,
just saying though.
hey,
I remember cutting on. I remember cutting on with my big daddy, my grandfather, and he was telling me
I got
like that
pictures
was
of
the
the
difference.
shit.
I always wondered the difference until he went and got a whole slab, and I'm like, damn, that motherfucker big. He was like, yeah, we gotta cut this motherfucker down. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. And then
Hey, it's
we
Ma-
funny
we
you say
the
this. Look,
flap
it
we
was
Bro,
like,
barbecue
always
it,
like,
and then the
yeah.
rib tips. Yeah, that
Matter of fact,
motherfucker big.
matter of fact, Slick, you seen me do it for Easter.
Yeah, I saw you and that motherfucking doing it, but shit, I just thought you
You
knew I
see
cut
me
St. Louis
do
way. Because believe it not, by me living there where niggas don't even take the blue skin off. Like if you go to Detroit, if you go to Cali, they don't even know what the fucking silver
man.
skin is, or if you call it blue skin, they don't know the difference. They don't know what that is. And I'll be like, that's why your ribs so tough, nigga.
hell yeah. And I got a problem with New York because that original cut of beef, the New York strip, it's a Kansas City strip.
Right.
I mean, we gotta think
For
about it though.
real?
Hell
See, we
yeah. I
don't have
mean,
stuff like
because
that.
ain't no
But you
cows
wanna
in
know
New
something
York.
though? Cuts of meat is not everywhere. When I went to the
No cows
California,
in New York.
right? And I wanted to
No
buy, I
cows
Uh-huh.
said,
in
I
New
need
York.
a pork shoulder. They was like, what the fuck is pork shoulder? I said, you got pork
What?
butt? They said, what the fuck is pork butt? I said, damn, are y'all serious? They don't carry that out in California. They don't carry pork shoulder. They don't carry pork butt.
Motherfucking cows.
You gotta go to
Motherfuckers
an
that's
actual
over
butcher.
that.
So like,
No, it's not that. It's
I
about
learned
the
that
region
wherever
of
you
where
go,
shit
like you
is
may miss out on
produced.
some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It's about the region of where shit is
Culture
produced
shit,
at.
right?
Like ain't no cows in no New York. Like no, it's too cold for that shit year round. Like fuck no, ain't no cows in New York. It's that
Man,
So
simple.
look,
how the
So they
fuck
don't
do
get
they
certain
get a
shit
New
that we
York
get in
strip?
Midwest.
yeah, how
It's
they get a
shipped.
New York
It's
strip? And
shipped.
I know how to cut a
It's
New York
shipped.
strip out of the whole loin. I know how to do that.
I know
They
how
and the cold part,
It's
they
shipped
shape that
shit.
shit. They shape that shit.
nigga, we do that shit here just off of a whim. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure Alias could tell you which piece is going to make the best Kansas City strip right now by
Mm.
marbling and everything
There you
else.
go.
Oh,
I know I do it because I used to be a
because y'all
chef.
got a
That's how I know how to do
slaughterhouse
it.
right up north. KC has a slaughterhouse up north.
That's not the only one.
Well, I'm not saying.
Nigga, the mob on
I
nigga.
just
Y'all
know
might be
that y'all
getting
got a
people.
slaughterhouse up north in St. Joe. Because I went to
Mm-hmm.
school there.
I'm
That
just
shit
saying,
stank.
I learned how to do that shit when I was chefing
That
or
shit
whatever.
stank.
Get a whole motherfucking loin, and then you cut it, shade that fat down, and all that shit. But like you said about the marble and all that shit, we used to do that shit,
Mm-hmm.
man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Quarter
Polo,
inch
what
thick.
brand
You
is
know what
that
I'm saying?
though?
All that shit.
I'm
Hey,
sorry, I
Polo, you
couldn't
know
hear
what
you.
brand that is? You know
A
what
New
brand
York
that
strip,
is
a
of
New
beef?
York strip ain't. That's just a cut. It's not even a
No, no,
brand.
no. No, I'm not talking about in St. Joe. Like they got a whole plant in St. Joe of a butchery. You know
And let
what
me tell you
like
something.
brand that is?
Midwest had all the pig
Uh-huh.
farms, bro. You
You
know
said
why
what's up?
why we had all the pig farms? You ever heard the term greedy as a pig?
I mean, that's where we produce the. I mean, that's where we got the cows at because of the climate that
Right,
allows
but I'm saying,
motherfuckers to
you know
sustain.
why all that shit right here around here? the motherfucking mob used to buy them farms, and that's why niggas. That's why you can't find Jimmy Hoffa. You starve a pig for a day, they get your whole body down there in 15 seconds.
Yep,
I ain't
that's
bullshitting.
true.
I'm being
That's
real.
true.
They used to own all the pig farms. They throw your ass in there, eat your ass up,
And that's,
and that's where
no,
the
it's
term
shit.
"greedy as a pig" come from.
Because pigs
Okay.
are the only animal
Right,
after
eat
2 or 3 days
You
they
don't do
return to
shit.
the
You
original.
eat anything.
Well, they
They'll
go
eat their own.
ravenous.
Yeah, they
They'll
saw. They'll
go
start eating their
ravenous.
own. Yeah,
Yeah. Savages.
yeah.
I
Gotta
can't say that
survive.
they'll
No
return to
lie.
their nature
No, you
because
gotta eat. No.
their
Survival of the
nature
fittest.
is their nature. They're more vegetarian. But if you starve them in a confined area, they will turn ravenous.
Yeah, and it's a
I mean,
fact.
but if you think about that though, like, is there not any species in your race? You should not starve we don't know the sociology of starving a human being to what the fuck it
Yes,
means. They'll
Yeah,
go
we
to
have
do.
eat.
you?
Them some bitches on
All
the
right,
No,
what is it
airplane in
hold
the
then?
on,
Let's
Alps.
talk about it. Well, let's talk about
No,
it.
I don't
What
want to
is
talk about
it?
that shit. You talking about
man.
Just
cannibalism? I
Man,
starve
don't
it
a
want to
is
talk
human
about that
almost
being.
shit.
4 in the
I know
Start.
morning,
something
and you
about it.
talking
Let's
about
talk about it. Let's talk about it.
That shit nasty.
it's
They ate that dude booty,
That's
nigga. I don't want to know
nasty.
about that.
Eat some booty. No, no, yeah, let's
Yeah,
pass
they
on that.
did. The
Eat
people,
some
man, they made a
booty.
whole movie about that shit. Them niggas was in the
Eat some
airplane and they
booty.
and they got trapped in the mountains. And the people who died, they froze because they was up in the high mountains and shit. And shit, them niggas weren't gonna starve, nigga. They was eating
Yeah,
people
eat some
booties,
booty.
nigga. They
hey,
start cutting booty meat,
I,
eating that
I
shit,
I got a
nigga.
question. Have you heard of the Russian experiments, the Russian human experiments?
I'm
No,
finna find that movie,
how
dog.
long ago? What
These were
year?
done. These were done post World War II.
Okay.
They did several studies as far as sleep depravity, light depravity, food depravity. If you look at some of these photos, they are fucking scary.
Hey,
That
Polo.
what humans can actually turn into.
Polo.
Fuck that shit.
Did you
Yeah.
not realize what the
Mountains.
Nazis did like a century before then? 2 centuries before then? It was greater than that. And that's
Fuck
the
that.
sad
They
part.
was making people eat people. They nothing worse than it. That's oh my god.
And the
Airplane
crazy
crash.
what's more crazy about it is that how American scientists adopted their studies for people like us, citizens of America, to
No,
be
I can't. I
practiced
can't
upon the
wholeheartedly
guinea
agree with
pigs.
that.
Well, that's the
Have you ever
name
looked
of it.
into
Hey, that's the name of
have
it,
you ever
bro.
looked into irs.gov?
Here
Have
you
you
go.
ever looked into irs.gov?
Hey,
Like the actual
the plane
documents and
had. Hey,
testimonies that's been put out there to the public of that has become public knowledge, but unless you're aware of it, you just don't know that it's there.
You talking about the scientists that were brought over after the Nuremberg trials?
I mean, I'm talking about that, but I'm also just talking about CIA.gov to where there are documents that are displayed of fucked up shit from from various. If we could talk KKK, we could talk about whatever you want to talk about. It's there.
what you
Any
drinking, bro?
file that you want to look into, huh?
What
Bro,
you drinking,
You
bro?
know
all
what
I
I'm
can say
drinking.
is
I got these two. Hold on. I put up to the
Cause he
screen like
pausing
an
a
hour
lot. I'm like
ago.
this nigga pause like he feeling that shit, boy. Yeah, that
Yeah,
damn
no, I've been
steel.
fucked.
But
No,
now
I've been drinking.
hey y'all, the movie is called Alive. It came out 1993. It's a real pic. And then if you want to meet the dude who ate the booties, just type in
Ate the booties.
Andy's plane crash survivor who had to eat his
Hold
comrades.
on.
oh,
Man,
I
my pen
remember
just go.
that,
I'm about
and
to
he
write
got
it down.
rescued
Bitch,
the
I
next
remember
day,
that.
They was
Well,
eating his people booties and shit, man, frying them up.
and he got
oh man,
rescued the
y'all
next day.
crazy.
Yeah, he got rescued, bro. He had a glass of piss and some booties.
What's the name of the
And
movie?
the movie is called Alive.
I must have tripping.
And then it came out 1993. I remember that shit. And then on YouTube, they had an interview with the cat. It was September 12th, 2008. It's called Andy's Plane Crash Survivor who had to eat his comrades. Yep.
Damn.
Oh shoot! Don't get that connect back, nigga.
God damn, what did happen?
What? I'm here. What you look at YouTube?
Been on YouTube too long.
No,
Hello?
that's what it probably was. But it say connected back. OBS it got
Damn, Ethernet
disconnected. It
cord.
still say it's streaming though.
That shit tripping hard.
Oh, shit.
What is doing on YouTube? Oh snap!
What's up, bro? Hello?
I think it dropped out.
Huh?
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I hear you. I think my
Damn, I want to go over my Ethernet
YouTube
cord. I
told
don't
me
know
get
what
the fuck
happened.
up off YouTube. That's what I think it did. Oh, now it reconnected. Ain't that a bitch?
Okay, I'm about to say shit started tripping. I went to grab my
It do
Ethernet
that
cord
because
for
I've
connection.
been
I'm like, what
live.
the
I've been
fuck?
live for hellas, bro. I've been live a long
Right
ass
now,
time, bro.
right. No, but it's been interesting.
Yeah, I've been live a long time.